Good evening, and welcome back to London. It's been a little while since we were able to solve mysteries. We've still got several more mysteries left to go. I think there's 15 left in the game right now. In the game so, right now. So we're going to. Brett's going to join us again, and we're going to go back to London right now. And I think we're going to. So we're going to. Brett's going to join us again, and we're going to go back to London. We're going to do three. We're going to do three more episodes of 5 mysteries each. I think is how we figured it out, and we'll be done with London this month, and maybe we can move on to other collaboration content next month. After the holiday, I won't be around for Independence Day. I got plans that night, so I'm just waiting for Brett now to start his stream and join us, and then we will go over to the game and get started with today's casebook.
Okay, are you there, Evilicious?
What the heck is an evilicious?
Nothing you need to concern yourself with. I'm kidding. Um, Let me switch to co-streamer. All right, there we go. We are up. Can I get a quick mic check from you?
Yes, we are testing the mics here. Should be fine on my end. You're coming in clear.
All right, all right. This stream will be different than our last couple of streams in that we've basically kind of got everything figured out ahead of time, which is nice. What was that? Was that you testing?
Yeah, I'm testing real quick.
Which is nice. Okay. What was that? Was that you testing? What was that?
Yeah, I'm testing real quick.
Okay.
All right, I think that's enough of that. I think you're coming in strong enough.
All right, where did
And if you're not, I can always edit the audio in post because I'm in a phase now where some of my videos need edits because of the network issues anyway. So.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I am seeing your screen, and I've got your audio, and everything's nice and clear.
And I'll switch over to the game on my end as well.
All right. I think my shot looks pretty good on this side.
All right. So my studio is now running the game.
Screen over there. Whoops. Where's screen? There's screen. Oh, I've got it.
It
I'm
says.
An idiot. I have to re-reverse my shot.
It says I have some drop frames, but the drop frames number hasn't changed since the splash screen. So and I'm solid green, so I think we're good to go. Plus, London is the kind of game where pretty much everything is static images anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right, I need to do something real quick here. Where did it go? Here it is. I had my, because of the way I was doing this previously, I had my shot reversed, and so I have to figure out how to flip that back real quick. Oh boy, where is that thing? Is it transform? Yeah, here we go. Flip horizontal. We'll take that off. There we go. Much better. So now I don't have to do that. Because of the way I had to run it previously, I had to reverse the screen, but that is no longer the case. So, yay. All right. We're pretty much ready to begin, I believe.
Yes, I believe I'm ready to begin.
I believe I can play Eagle Eye Mysteries.
And the DOS, the in-browser DOS emulator has just eaten my mouse, so we are ready to go.
Good. All right. Let's dive right in. For those unaware, if anybody is joining for the first time, Eagle Eye Mysteries is an old school DOS game that runs in an emulator that my good friend and co-streamer here, Uncle Evie, has discovered and brought back from the very precipice of death. And
it's not
we're
so much,
playing it now.
It's not so much that I discovered it as I had it when I was a kid on Mom's first computer and had a bit of nostalgia for it.
Yeah, that's true. I remember you telling that story.
So yeah, there's no discovery involved because this one was prior knowledge. And we're in the second case book, so we're going with Jennifer. They're pretty much the same anyway. So let's get right into our mysteries. So, yeah, this looks about where we are. Okay, so it looks like we have some cool mysteries coming up tonight. Um,
All right, I'm excited. Let's do this.
we are starting with the case of the siege skullduggery. Did I pronounce that correctly?
I believe so, yes.
Then let's get right into it.
And I believe skullduggery should have two L's in it. Not sure why it's just got the one there, but at least that's the way I've already seen it. That might be a Britishism, like the cull hour
Also, remember
of
it's the
the
90s.
skullduggery.
Spelling could change over. Spelling can't of slang sometimes changes over the
Uh,
years.
yeah, spelling's pretty rarely changed since the 90s, and I was alive then. It is always possible, but oh yeah, we're on Nigel. Or no, that's Dad. That's uh,
That's Uncle
what the heck is it?
Basil.
Basil. That's right.
Nigel's dad.
Uncle. Yep, Uncle Jennifer. I have an unbelievably secret message for you.
Cool, Uncle Basil. Who sent it?
Santa Claus. He says he's not coming. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong message. Well, now, if I told you that, young lady, then it would hardly be a secret, would it? Just read it and follow its instructions exactly, and no more silly questions, or I'll beat you with a cricket bat.
It says, "What ho, young eaglets! Come to Kenilworth Castle, I prithee, to help us defend our castle from the Bloxham brigands. Signed, the DD. Totally weird." Well, you heard the instructions. Let's get over to Kenilworth Castle.
Cool. The first time I heard the word brigands, when I was a kid, I was fortunate enough, and it just kills me to this day that I don't still have it. The original Dark Tower game from Milton Bradley back in the early 80s, I had one of those, and me and my friends absolutely played the crap out of it. And brigands were the default bad guys that you would
All
have to
right.
fight.
I just made sure that my
Love that
maps are
game.
preloaded. Do you have the guidebook preloaded and ready to go just in case?
I do not, but I can do that very quickly. I've got a
It's
I
a
have
it's a
a
good idea. It's a good idea to
bookmark,
be
you
ready.
see. I have a
Sometimes
bookmark, you see.
sometimes they ask about train platforms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I'll get it popped open here. Uh,
All right, so we're
where-
going to Victoria Station, which will take us to a bunch of places, but for this mystery, we're going to Kenilworth.
that's not it. I don't need that. Yeah, you go ahead.
I
I'm
wonder
loading
who
up the thing
DD
here.
is, and what could they want with us at Kenilworth? Oh, that was a good call. It's asking us about the train schedule guide.
Yep. All right,
It's
hang on a sec.
10:32. We need the train schedule. What platform goes to Kenilworth at 10:32?
Kenilworth at 10:32. All right, hang on a second here.
I knew it was going to
Uh,
ask that. Somehow I knew.
Decoder resources. Okay, let me find which page that's on, for I know not of this. Okay, I don't need starting commands. We've got that. Getting around London. Da 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 da. We're I went past it. We're in the instructions. Okay, here we go. Decoder your circuit. Okay, there's the hieroglyphs, and we are looking for. Wait, was that it? How do I zoom? Where's zoom? Okay, here we go. I need to get a better mouse pad. This one's killing me. Okay, so where are we going?
Kenilworth.
10:30. Okay. Next one after 10:30 for Kenilworth. Let me see here. God, I cannot see this thing. I'm like 10 feet from my monitor now, so. Why can't I drag this to that window? There. Uh, hang on. Okay, this isn't even that. This is the King's chart or whatever it is. Semaphore, Reign of the Monarchs. Here we go. Train schedule. Finally. All right, 1 second. If I could go full screen on this without messing up my display, I would, but I can't. Okay, Kenilworth. Okay, there's a 10:45 on platform. God, I can't see this. Platform 9.
Platform 9
Yep.
and 3/4. Just kidding.
Ah, just walk right through that wall.
Great. Let's head to platform 9 to hop on the 10:45 train up to Kenilworth and meet up with DD.
Kenilworth Castle in Warwickshire was erected in the early 12th century. It was one of the strongest fortifications of its time. The castle withstood a 6-month siege in 1266 and in 1575 was the site of one of the most elaborate parties in Britain's history thrown by Robert Dudley, the Earl of Leicester, in honour of Elizabeth I. In 1649, the Parliament ordered parts of the castle destroyed. The ruins standing today inspired Sir Walter Scott's The ruins standing today inspired Sir Walter Scott's novel Kenilworth. There we go. Scusi.
He's new. We've never
Yeah,
seen him before.
yeah. Who is this? Mr. Derby. What would he sound like? Let's just go with this. What ho, Jennifer and Uncle! You must have gotten my message. I'm so thrilled you could come. Welcome to Kenilworth Castle. I'm Mr. Derby, the commander of Derby's defenders.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Derby. Your note said something about attackers. Is someone really trying to take over Kenilworth Castle?
See, I was gonna do him as like a depressed guy. No, no one's ever happy to see me. But he's smiling, so I can't do that. Absolutely, but not in not in real life. We're only acting, Jennifer. Acting. Sorry, I was taking a drink. It's the castle game. Every year, two teams of people get together to reenact a miniature castle siege. Each side dresses up in authentic old costumes. It makes history come alive, you see. And I own a costume shop, so it's not bad for me either. This year, my team, the Derby Defenders, are defending a castle, and the Bloxham Brigands are determined to take it from us.
How is the castle game played, Mr. Derby?
Well, with a castle, you American idiot. Well, actually, he wasn't wrong. Well, we build a model castle, and they build a model siege engine, the kind of weapon attackers used to break down castles and gates and walls. I am doing terribly with this. The kind of weapon attackers use to break down castle gates and walls. Then judges look out at the two models and figure out which would have won in a real siege. That side wins. They get an extra serving of custard.
Cool. What castle are you using as a model, Mr. Derby?
Oh, that would be telling. It's something we try to keep secret, but I do hope you'll help us find out what the Bloxham Brigands are up to.
I don't know, Mr. Derby. Is that legal to do in your game?
All's fair in love and war. I'm very Machiavellian, you see. Absolutely. They spy on us, we spy on them. It's part of the game. But you must say, "What ho!" when you meet people involved in the castle game. That tells them you are playing too. Otherwise, they will try and shoot you in the head. The leader of the Bloxham Brigands is in the Tower of London, researching his siege weapon. See what you can find out from him and his men. And find out engineer Miss Matlet? Miss Matlet at the London Toy and Model Museum. She's helping plan our defense. Say, lower the drawbridge to her so she'll know you're friends of Derby. Friends
Ken-
of Derby. I think that was an underground organization in London at one point.
Kenilworth Castle was founded around 1122 AD and quickly became known as one of the most powerful castles in England. It is over 900 years old. Like most castles, it has a stronghold at its center called a keep, where defenders can retreat even if attackers climb the walls or smash in the gates. The keep at Kenilworth is exceptionally tall and strong. In 1266, the lord of the castle, the Earl of Leicester, rebelled against King Henry III. Henry sent an army to attack the castle, but they could not get in. The king's army camped outside the gates, and the Earl had to surrender when his food ran out. Later, the castle was expanded into a palace. Robert Dudley, Earl of Leicester, was a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I, and he spent a small fortune to entertain her at Kenilworth. Today, Kenilworth Castle is a ruin, and no one lives there. But what remains is so impressive it inspired Sir Walter Scott to write an entire novel called Kenilworth about the castle's grand history. Let's go back to London and meet up with the other game participants and see what's going on with our little siege.
All right, what do we got with our siege?
We have to
Our
go meet.
siege,
We have to go meet the engineer at the toy museum, and then we have to go
our
meet the
siege, my
enemy at the
liege.
Tower of London.
My liege, take us to our siege.
What ho, Miss Mantlet? Lower the drawbridge.
What ho, children! You must be our secret agents in the castle game. Here, let me show you what I've found. I think she should be maybe Julia Child. I'm not sure. In the castle game, you see, we built a small replica of a castle, and the blocks and brigands will build a small siege device. These castle toys show exactly what we were up against. Yeah.
If an enemy builds, I think this is one just a picture caption.
Narration.
Yeah, so I guess that's me because I've always done those.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
If an enemy builds a siege ladder and the defending castle doesn't have high walls, the castle will be invaded. If the enemy builds a battering ram and the defending castle doesn't have really strong gates, the castle will fall. If the enemy builds a catapult, the defending castle will have to be able to launch their own giant boulders to smash it. If the castle doesn't have a catapult to fire back, it'll be invaded and lost.
It'll be invaded, lose?
If the enemy builds siege towers and the castle doesn't have a really deep moat to keep them far away, the castle will get invaded.
I am certain that blocks and brigands are building one of these 4 weapons. But which one? Castles don't wait. Castles weren't made to be impressive or to be comfortable, but to keep the peace and stop invaders in times of war. They were carefully designed for this purpose. Yes. What are you doing, Salem? Circling around my feet. With a castle, a small group of soldiers could defend against a much larger army. If the enemy left them alone, they could launch surprise attacks against the invaders and then return to the safety of their castle. It's very hard to invade a country that has hundreds of castles, as England had years ago. In the castle game, we're faced with the same dilemmas that the dukes and earls who owned castles worried about in those days. But for us, it's not a matter of life and death. For them, it was.
Don't worry,
They
Miss
died a
Hamlet.
lot.
We will find out what sort of siege the blocks and brigands are planning. Let's go. So now let's go meet the enemy.
Here's the ASMR portion of the Brett the Breton show. I have kitty treats for Salem.
We're going to the Tower of London.
There we go. Hey, over here. There you go.
Look, guys in costume. I bet those are the blocks and brigands.
Let's see. What ho! Halt! Who goes there? Friend or foe?
What ho! Just a pair of children, my lord, out to see the royal armories. All hail the blocks and brigands.
Quite right, quite right. Step lively, then.
The famous history of the Tower of London begins with the Norman conquerors who built the tall square fortress called the White Tower to control all of London. Other towers and walls were added much later. Over the years, the tower has been used as a fortress, a palace, and as a prison. Today it remains an enduring symbol of Britain's history and culture.
And is open on weekends as a tattoo studio. You may pass. I like the movie version better. None shall pass.
Looks like the leader of the brigands is conferring with one of his friends. Let's try and sound as medieval as they do when we talk to them. That's part of the fun of the castle game.
Try and sound medieval. Oh, good morning. Sorry, can you hand me that back? I'm afraid I've lost a tooth. The professor... Salem? What are you doing? No, don't go back there. Hold on. I have a potential issue. Salem, hey, don't go back there. Hey. Sit. Hang on. Give me just a second. One moment, please. I'm going to try to tempt the Salem with his little bed. There we go. Salem, look, here's your little bed. Well, he may be okay where he's at. Sorry if he since I just like reset the studio here. Studio, listen to me, it's the den. Uh Stuff is not in the right place and everything's not really like secured down just yet because I just got all this up and running. So if he takes a dive behind the couch, there's like cables back there that he's probably going to pull off. All right, anyway, sorry about that. The professor at the University of London has finished his formula, Sir Bartizan. In a moment, I'll be free to rush it to Warwick Castle. It's vital to our plan.
Shh! Did you hear that? The Blocks and Brigands have a professor at the University of London working for them, and it sounds like their headquarters are in Warwick Castle. As soon as we are done here in London, let's buzz out to Warwick Castle and have a look around. What ho! Are you gentlemen modeling the armor? Most impressive, I must say.
So this is a different guy. Bartizan. What ho? No, my lady, you are here plotting the overthrow of Castle Derby. He seems like he'd be kind of a smoothish sort of guy. Soon to become Castle Bloxham. Here, here. There. Everywhere.
But just having fancy armor won't get you into a castle. They're usually tall and the walls are very thick.
Over the years, soldiers have developed many ways to enter a castle without being invited. You can use siege ladders to get over the walls. Or you can take a battering ram and smash in the front gate. Quite a surprise that could be. Or you can sling huge stones at the castle with a big catapult. Oh, Salem, be careful. Or you can build a big siege tower. Archers climb to the top and shoot arrows over the castle wall at the soldiers inside. Then soldiers can climb from the tower over the top of the castle wall and attack. And if you press A while you're doing it, it'll give you a bonus. Those are the 4 classic ways to overthrow a castle. Ladders, battering ram, catapult, and siege tower.
So which way do you plan to use to get into the Castle Derby?
Oh, my lady, we cannot tell you that. We have spies sussing out the Derby defense. As surely as we stand here, they have spies snooping about in return. We're not telling you, Nandy Boo Boo.
Well, it seems they're sus, but we're sus to them, so I guess it all evens out.
Everybody's sus in this game.
We're going to meet the professor at the university.
People stealing cat statues and crap. Salem has decided to chill out on the couch.
We have met this guy before.
Out of the shot. Have we? Oh, okay. I have no idea if I'll do the same voice or not. All right.
Professor Mathon studies Britain's ancient history. He must be the one the Blocks and Brigands were talking about.
All right. I think I have a thing I can do for him. That's you.
What ho, Professor?
What ho? It's certainly not the one I was with last night. You see what I did there? Yes, quite so, quite so. What ho? Indeed, yes.
What is that you're working on? It smells pretty awful.
Oh, you see, I've just loaded up a bowl of the dankness. That's what that is, you see. It's my own formula for Greek fire, one of the great military weapons of all time. Once it's spread on something at certain light, it's beastly hard to put out. Yes.
Basically, it's the ancient version of napalm.
Yep. Sounds like it.
Greek fire, what's in it?
Well, it's a tzatziki sauce. It has cucumber and no. Anyway, for centuries, people have sought the answer to that question. Greeks supposedly taught the secret to the people of Constantinople, which is now Istanbul, as we're all quite well aware. When that city was besieged long ago, you see, yes. The Crusaders eagerly sought its secret, since Greek fire often was used to destroy their fortresses and ships. But no one ever told them, and neither will I tell you. No, 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 no. Yes, no, yes,
Okay.
no.
And a side note here before we go over to Warwick, of the four siege weapons that we learned about, the only one that supports Greek fire is a catapult. So we know which
Right.
siege weapon they're going to use.
Also known as the trebuchet. Sort of. They're different, but
Well, the trebuchet isn't the trebuchet like a catapult on steroids?
kind of, yeah, yeah. And it's also a font. Don't have
Let's
a
go to
catapult
Warwick.
font.
To get to
Trebuchet's
Warwick
better.
Castle, we take the train going northwest toward Coventry. You know the castle's name is yeah, we've already pronouncing it
I was
correctly.
I was wondering about that.
A
Warwick.
lot of British place names are pronounced a little differently than they look. Like
It's
the
like Stratford
like
on
the Thames
Avon.
River, so it rhymes the gems. The words are so old that the sound of the language has changed a little, even if the spelling stays the same. It's kind of neat when you think about it, and totally irrelevant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the pronunciation thing. It's kind of like Stratford on Avon is pronounced Stratford on Avon, but it's actually spelled Booty. So that's kind of a neat trivia thing. Warwick Castle in Warwickshire is one of the finest examples of medieval castles in Britain. The castle, now owned by Madame Tussauds, was first built in 1068 by William the Conqueror. Many great earls of Warwick ruled this castle, including Richard Neville, who was known as the Kingmaker, for his part in the War of the Roses. Complete with grim dungeons and majestic battlements, Warwick Castle looks over the River Avon and acres of gardens where the city of Peacock would. I stink at this. Warwick Castle looks over the River Avon and acres of gardens where the cry of peacocks can be heard. Welcome to BBC World Service. At the tone, the time will be 2022. Boop.
Wow, what an incredible collection of armor and stuff. Castles are so cool. Why don't we have any of them back in America, I wonder? We do, but they're fake. Look, blocks and brigands are hanging out here. Let's act like tourists and see what we can find out.
I stayed in a castle in Vegas. It was it
What
was
ho! Excuse us, kind sirs.
it was not it was not the best hotel. Let's see. This is generalized brigand. What ho, my lady? Let me finish was saying, even if they build a model of Warwick Castle itself, we'll overcome them. Ho ho! Now, how can I help you, young Yanks?
Oh,
That's,
we were wondering how someone might attack a castle like this one. It seems really impossible to do.
oh, not really. For example, you could build a. Wait a moment. You aren't with those Derby do-gooders, are you? What ho? Indeed. Push off now. Goodbye. Tit tit. Perio.
Uh-oh,
Yay.
sounds like they're onto us. But did you hear what he said? Even if they build a model of Warwick Castle, we'll overcome them. Hmm.
Named after Warwick Davis, famed Star Wars actor. A lot of people don't know that. Good day, children. Are you ready for a tour of the castle grounds? It's rather a hike, you know. The walls are very long and the tower's quite high. Much like myself.
No problemo. If you'll guide us, we'd love to see Warwick Castle. Miss Maudie, we're really into sieges and catapults and battering rams and stuff. Can you tell us much about that?
Oh, you'd like to hear about the death and killing? It's wonderful. Let me tell you all about it. But first, another puff. There we go. Of course, being able to withstand sieges is what castles are really all about. As we go around, I'll tell you what I know about attacking and defending castles.
Miss Maudie, we're wondering, why aren't there any castles like Warwick back in America?
Well, because by the time your piece of crap country, oh, sorry, by the time your country was settled, castles had lost their usefulness. When cannons that fired big metal balls were invented, castles became obsolete. In the year 1453, the Turks invented a cannon that could fire a ball weighing 600 pounds and costing 1,200 pounds. That would destroy almost any wall or topple any tower. There are a few castles in the States, actually, but they're not real fortresses like this one. Most of them, like the Hearst Castle in California and the Gillette Castle in Connecticut, were built by wealthy people who just fancied the idea of living in a castle of their own. Must be nice. Castle walls are meant to keep invaders out. They keep people from hopping over with ladders. Warwick Castle's walls are tall and well protected with great towers. If anyone made ladders tall enough to get over, the archers in the towers could shower them with arrows. Or they could simply dump hot boiling oil upon their heads and watch as they writhe and scream to the ground. Only a siege tower could have any hope of defeating these walls.
What exactly is a siege tower, Miss Maudie?
It's like a wooden castle on wheels. Attackers would build one out of range of the castle, then slowly move it forward a few feet at a time. Then they would reveal the pigs and cows and goats, which would come in and cause chaos. When it got close enough to the castle, the men inside the siege tower could shoot arrows or lob things down into the castle. Then they could climb over the walls from the siege tower now they were inside. That usually was the end of that, because they all had sharp swords and would slice people to ribbons. It was amazing.
Did anyone ever use a siege tower against Warwick Castle?
Apologies, I adore violence, you see. I don't think so. You see, Warwick is next to a river, and it's surrounded by a moat. That's a wide ditch filled with water, in case you silly Yank people didn't know what a moat was. It would be too hard to get a siege tower close to Warwick Castle. This open area inside the walls was called the Bailey. The Bailey. In times of siege, it would be full of supplies. Farmers and people from nearby towns would also take refuge here against the invaders.
Momentary dropout. I was going
Yeah.
strong until the dropout. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Alright. So, are we back where we need to be then, I guess?
Can you hear me?
Alright. Yeah, we're
I can
back
hear
where we need
you.
to be,
Let us
right?
continue.
Yeah, okay. We're
So,
back where
what
we
is
need
Greek
to be.
fire? I just asked you what is Greek fire.
Are okay. Yeah, alright. So that's a yes then, is the word I was looking for. Okay. It was an especially terrible form of oil spread over a boulder. Attackers would set it on fire, then shoot flaming bowls into a castle. Of course, to do that, you had to have a catapult. Nobody knows precisely what Greek fire was made of, but it couldn't be put out with water. It was a devastating advantage during a siege. That's one ancient secret that's best left forgotten.
What's
Unless,
that
of course,
under
you're
the
the person
tarp,
in the
Miss
castle.
Maudie?
It's a model of something that's being built by the men in armor for something called the castle game. I have no idea what it is. It's a secret. And they paid me well enough to ignore it, so I will. That's Warwick's gatehouse. Front gates are often weak points in a castle's walls, but these gates are strongly defended. Even a battering ram would probably be useless against them.
What exactly is a battering ram, Miss Maudie?
Oh, it's a very well trained ram that dips various things in batter so that they can be fried for your entertainment and amusement. Think of a giant log with an iron knob on one end, hanging by chains from a wooden frame, and picture hundreds of men pushing on it in rhythm, swinging it into a gate as if they were beating on a giant drum. Hundreds of sweaty, bulging men. Boom, crash, boom! That's a battering ram. But Warwick has two heavy iron grates that can be raised and lowered, called portcullises. Is that how you pronounce that?
It's close enough.
I really don't know. I've seen that word so many times, but never heard anyone say it. While an attacker tried to break them down, defenders could pour boiling oil on them from the walls above, as I mentioned previously when I was making a joke about horrible death. Oh, it's horrible. Warwick Castle was sacked in the 13th century during the civil wars of Henry III. They completely fired it without notice. So after that, it was made stronger by adding two great towers, Caesar's Tower and Guy's Tower. They both are at least 5 stories tall, and they're very strong towers with parapets and loopholes.
What are those, Miss Maudie?
Well, you see, a parapet is a parrot that you've trained and made into a pet. And it's good to have those in a castle because they can warn you of approaching enemies. The top wall on a castle with stone teeth sticking up every few feet is called a parapet, also, coincidentally. The defending soldiers would use the parapets to hide from enemies' arrows while they shot their own arrows down at the attackers. A loophole is something in tax law that rich people use to get away with paying nothing. But coincidentally, again, it's also a little window on a castle wall for firing arrows or guns. If you were on the inside of the castle, you could fire out, but it made it awfully hard for enemies to shoot back in. Castle features have many other neat names too, like M- Merlin, and plinth and battlements. Castle building is really a whole lost science.
That castle stuff is so neat. Next time I'm in a library, I'm going to see if I can get my hands on a book that'll teach me more about it. Jake will be jealous if I learn stuff about castles he doesn't know.
Oh, Jake,
I
screw that
think
guy.
that's everything then. We are going to
All right.
we are going to tell the Derby defenders how to defend their castle. Are we in agreement that's a catapult with Greek fire that they're planning to
Yep.
use?
Yep.
Castle game, 2 teams, one side, blah blah blah.
Yeah, these
So
pages
that
are
one's
relevant.
yeah, the first one, that's all. Yeah, low drawbridge secret password. It's the no. Yeah, nah.
This page
It
is
says
irrelevant.
it said the second one said that it was especially like the walls were especially strong or whatever, but I don't think that's a
Well,
thing.
I think this is one of our clues, the catapult.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of them at least. Yeah.
Well, we know it's going to
Siege
be a
towers, nope.
catapult, so let's go ahead and select this one
Yeah,
anyway to
yeah,
mark it.
yeah, yeah. A formula. Oh, made a formula. Was that the formula for the
Yes, but
stuff?
we want to identify it by name. We don't want to waste a clue on nebulous language.
Well, true, but just remember that that's there because I think that's going to be one of them.
Yeah,
Blah blah blah.
yeah.
Nope.
If they build a
Catapult.
catapult, um, this one's a possibility, but it doesn't exactly say. This is,
Yeah.
um,
Siege tower won't be it. Nope. Brigands claim that we'll overcome them. That might be a clue. I don't know. Stop siege towers. Parapet.
there's a few things here
Yeah,
that might be clues.
Yeah. Battering ram. Great. Open air. Nope. Greek fire was only used if they had catapults. Yep. Brigand's secret weapon is under a tarp at Warwick Castle. It's something tall like a catapult or siege tower.
That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Has developed. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it does. Well, that's lame. It gives the thing about the recipe, and then it says it again, but with names in it. Anyway.
So now we just need to connect Professor Math into the brigands. So we'll go back and click that other clue.
Yep. Yeah, yep.
We are
Ding.
defending against the catapult.
Yep. Now we only used 4 clues in that, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I keep forgetting that you can go fewer on clues. All right. Continue.
Bullseye! The Bloxham brigands are building a catapult. We heard one of the brigands tell his leader about a formula that was vital to their success. He said a professor was developing it. When we visited Professor Mathon, he told us the formula was for Greek fire, a kind of flaming oil used in sieges. At Warwick Castle, Miss Maudie told us that attackers could only use Greek fire if they had a catapult. So that had to be what the brigands were building.
Oh, so much death. Now here's Radio Guy. Derby repels brigands. The castle game, England's only all-out miniature siege reenactment, was won this year by the Derby Defenders. Their model of Kenilworth Keep came equipped with a catapult, which enabled them to destroy the fiery attacking catapult of the Bloxham brigands. It was that crafty uncle who did us in, lamented Sir Bartizan, chief of the brigands. Uncle Evie and Jennifer Eagle, in accordance with the rules of the game, acted as spies for Derby and cleverly deducted their siege plan. Derby commended the young detectives. I only hope we can fly them back for next year's game. Thus endeth the mystery. The mystery. There we go. I was making a dramatic. I was
This
making a
was a funny
dramatic hand
caption.
gesture, and my hand was totally out of the shot. What's that?
This is a funny photo for the scrapbook. Jake's head got stuck in the brigand's helmet, but it was actually my hand holding it down.
Ah, siblings. All right. So that was the siege something. I don't remember what it was called. It's fine.
Let's move on.
Siege
Let's move right
skullduggery.
on to the second one of the night, the case of the standing stones.
Not the Rolling Stones. It should be noted. They're not on tour right now. I gotta fix my hair.
Not the sitting stones either. Not the sleeping stones. Not the swimming stones. We're just going to see the standing stones.
Yes, sitting stones are right out. Stonehenge or something. Oh, it's Nigel. Hello again, Nigel. I've missed you so. Jennifer, Uncle, Mum just came back from an assignment in Salisbury. Come down and have a listen. Something strange has been going on at Stonehenge. How did I know this was going to be Stonehenge?
What do you mean, Nigel?
There's this band called Spinal Tap, and they're playing loud, aggressive music. But from what I overheard, it sounds like a druid attacked one of the guards in the dead of night. No one knows why. Yikes, how creepy. Let's see what else Aunt Miranda can tell us, Uncle. Yes.
And once again, we have to step out of the house just to go downstairs. We have to climb out the window and walk around to the front door. Looks like Aunt Miranda and Uncle Basil are talking about the case right now.
And there's a ghost coming out of their teapot, which is terrifying. He wasn't hurt, just knocked unconscious. Well, it's all rather mysterious, isn't it? It reminds me a bit of my novella, The Secret of Blagdon Grange. You remember, dear, all about the man who wakes up and finds his house has been burgled, but nothing's missing? Yes, Basil, I remember it. Ah, sorry. Got choked there. That's exactly what's so odd about this case. No one's even sure if anything was removed from the area. I mean, who would try to haul away one of those huge stones? This one really has the police puzzled. It appears that a guard at Stonehenge was attacked last night. A fellow by the name of Avery. Someone put a rag soaked in chloroform, a powerful anesthetic, over his mouth and nose. The next thing he knew, it was hours later, and he'd been lying on the ground unconscious. The really juicy bit is that the man swears this happened after he went to investigate a mysterious white-robed figure he saw lurking amongst the stones. Lurking. I bet my article on this bizarre event will make the front page. I'll make the headline, Druid Attack at Stonehenge. Inspector Gage said the case file would be available later today over at Scotland Yard. I must get a look at it. And what's Basil have to say about this? What's his wisdom here? Salisbury Plains, where Stonehenge is located. The place has always been shrouded in mystery. No one is sure who built the ancient stone circle or what it was used for, but there are thousands of theories.
Maybe the aliens built it.
I believe it was a prop for a rock band's tour back in the early 80s, but I'm not sure. I've heard some people say it was built by the Druids, an ancient order of nature worshippers, for their bloodthirsty rituals. In all the paintings I've seen, Druids always wear long white robes. People say they performed sacrifices at Stonehenge. They also may have invented ways to predict the best times to plant and harvest crops using the cycles of the moon. This latest incident may mean the Druids have returned to claim their ancient temple. How exciting! Perhaps I'll set my next story for Sleuth Magazine in Stonehenge. Oh, Basil, really, your imagination's incredible. Taking a thing that actually happened and writing it down. These Stonehenge Druid stories are pure drivel.
You're
Oh,
right.
I
There
thought
is a
she was.
ghost in the teapot.
I thought she was commenting on the fact that he was going to try to write the story for a magazine or something. Yeah. Plagiarist.
We're going to Scotland Yard. Maybe
It's
it'll
people
actually
like
let us
you
go to
keeping the
Stonehenge
workers
afterwards.
down.
Inspector Gage and Aunt Miranda have known each other for years. It's really nice of him to let us take a look at his case file.
Do 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 do. Inspector Gage. Do 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 do. Okay, for him, I was doing
Matt Berry. That guard's story is odd, but I'm inclined to believe him. Mr. Avery is a long-time employee at Stonehenge and has a sterling reputation. Besides, there's a disturbing link between last night's attack and a recent Snootby's auction.
Snootby.
2 days ago, I attended an estate sale at Snootby's that uncovered an old letter. It was written by a Lord Langley, who died quite suddenly back in 1842. I believe that the letter has something to do with the case. Indeed, it may be the cause of the attack itself. Langley was a close friend of a former owner of Stonehenge, back before it became a public monument. Apparently, he went digging on part of the site without his friend's permission. What he found 150 years ago may be exactly what our mysterious white-robed assailant sought last night. I was at the auction house when the letter was discovered. I've kept it under lock and key here at Scotland Yard since then, so I know for a fact that only 5 people have seen it. Besides myself and Sandra Trent, the auctioneer at Snootby's, only 3 people know of the letter's existence. Curator Buckley at the British Museum, his assistant Percy Tribb, and Professor Mathon from that other university that's very expensive. Since you two will be helping out on the case, I'd appreciate it if you'd have a look at it as well. I think you'll find the letter's discovery and last night's attack are no mere coincidence.
Inspector Gage's desk calendar shows that he was out on an all-night stakeout with 2 constables last night. The file on the Stonehenge case mentions vandalism that took place while the guard was unconscious. 4 small holes were dug around the base of some of the large standing stones that make up the inside circle of the monument. A police examination of the holes showed that although the earth was disturbed, nothing seems to have been removed. There were no impressions in any of the holes to suggest that anything had been found and removed from the soil.
But we now know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hole. As you can see, whoever our white-clad trespasser was looking for, he didn't find it. I suspect he gave up and fled as he saw the guard begin to revive.
Lord Langley's letter reads, Dear friend, despite your order that I should await your return to begin my excavations at the Giant's Dance, I confess I could not resist its mystery. Digging beneath that stone which we so recently saw crowned by the midsummer sunrise, I believe I discovered a treasure that will delight your eyes and incite your forgiveness. A remnant of our Celtic ancestors, the likes of which I have never seen. Not wishing to unearth this priceless find without your presence, I have tamped down the soil atop it once more. It lies, as it has all these millennia, awaiting your return. Yours in patience, Langley.
So he dug it up and buried it again. What a
This,
ninny.
the statement made by John Avery, the Stonehenge guard who was attacked, is on the videotape in the department VCR.
I was just making me midnight rounds, right? Well, I saw a strange figure moving in amongst the stones. We close up at 6 p.m. and no one's allowed in again until 10 in the morning, so I took my torch and went to have a look-see. Yeah. It was that dark. I couldn't make out any features, but he was wearing a loose white hooded robe, like I've seen some of them Druid fellas. I made him on my way to tell him to clear off, but I lost sight of it amongst the stones. I don't know why I'm Ozzy Osbourne, but I am. It's fine. When I got inside the Sarsen Stones, I felt a hand clamp, a fierce smelling ragged me mouth and nose. And next I knew I was lying there on the ground where I fallen, and not a soul in sight. I'd soiled myself. When my eyes cleared, I had looked round for the fellow, but he must have scampered off while I was still out. I found my torch inside one of them holes he dug, but no trace of him at all. Did I mention I soiled myself? It made me sad.
Let's
Not
go to the
saying
museum.
Ozzy soiled himself. That could be taken badly. Ozzy is awesome. He would not have soiled himself. But that guard guy was freaking out, so he definitely soiled himself.
Mr. Buckley and Mr. Tribb look pretty upset. I wonder they've heard about the attack on Mr. Avery last night.
Let's see, what would he be? He's like a Richard Branson type, kind of, but I don't know what, I can't remember what he sounds like.
Can you believe they put a find like this in the hands of that self-styled Welsh wizard? The greatest expert on Stonehenge alive today, they said. I mean, really? Maythorn may be a famous expert, but both Trib and I are as well versed in prehistoric monuments as anyone alive today. This really is a slap in the face to the British Museum, I can tell you that.
You know, this is just the sort of find that could make a fellow's career. If a bright fellow, an enterprising fellow, a fellow such as myself, were to dig up these artifacts, well, it could mean offers beyond one's wildest dreams. And I can dream pretty wild if you know what I mean, and I think you do, and that's okay. Imagine books, a lecture tour, seminars at prestigious universities, perhaps even the promotion I so richly deserve. They might even name the findings the Trib Collection.
Kids, don't Google the Trib collection.
Is it a real thing?
Trib.
Probably. It's very close to another piece of terminology, put it that way.
Trib, curb your ambitious fantasies for a moment, won't you, and see to filing these papers.
Yes, sir, Mr. Buckley. Right away, sir.
Yeah. Get off me back. Rotta.
Now we'll go to
I don't know what
Snoopy's.
I don't know what rotter is. Rotter. Rotta. Some sort of Britishism.
Snoopy's is a really big auction house. They've auctioned off everything from Michelangelo's sculptures to Elvis Presley's first guitar.
One thing that's funny about this series, before I read Harry Parker's thing here, they name Madame Tussauds multiple times, and it's still a company that exists. They changed Sotheby's. It's obviously supposed to be Sotheby's. They changed it to Snootbees for reasons. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Well, I just think it's super that London Society of Antiquaries is taking such an interest in a letter found here at Snootbees. Of course, Snootbees has always been the place to find the strange and wonderful. Sandra is thrilled, of course. She seems fascinated by the idea there might be some kind of archaeological treasure from the Stone Age just waiting to be plundered. Seems the excitement was just too much for her. She was too ill to come to work yesterday. I must say, I'm amused no end that they've named Professor Maythorn head of the new excavation at Stonehenge. What a blow to that pompous Buckley and his snivelling toady Trib. Well done, I say. Those guys suck.
Well, it was a thrilling moment. I took one look at that Duragny cherrywood writing box, and I knew instantly it contained a secret panel. Many of that particular period did. Inspector Gage happened to be there, bidding on a service revolver that once belonged to Rudyard Kipling. He noticed I was having difficulty opening the box and gave me a hand. The letter was hidden inside. He asked me to dinner, but I had to let him down gently. The date on the letter about Stonehenge was July 13th, 1842. I researched the data we had on the estate, and it appears that Lord Langley, the letter's author, never sent it. He died only a few days later, after a fall from his horse. Or at least that's what they want you to believe. Once we read the letter, we immediately called in 3 top experts on Stonehenge, who went over the letter in detail. I was called away to supervise moving a painting, but they all seemed very excited over the contents. Had something to do with tribbing. I gathered that it referred to some sort of ancient treasure buried at Stonehenge. I've never studied Stonehenge myself, but it sounded like quite a find. An ancient treasure from Stonehenge would probably be quite valuable to a collector.
Lord Langley's writing box is made of cherry wood. The surface is smooth and polished. A large golden plaque on the box is inscribed with his initials, M-A-L, Mal.
I wonder if that's a clue.
The secret panel covering the false bottom has been slipped aside. There is approximately an inch of space in which to hide letters or documents.
Alright. On to Victoria Station in a handsome cab. We're in a handsome cab.
Stonehenge is really mysterious, even when there aren't creepy robbers in white robes hanging out there. Let's see, which train do we need to get there? Before we go to Stonehenge itself, because that'll be a fitting place to do the solve, let's go to Oxford and meet the professor.
Alright.
Oxford is the university where Professor Maython teaches. This train will take us there. Wasn't he a University of London professor in the last mystery?
Maybe so. They got tired of his crap and sent him back.
Maybe he was just a visiting professor in that one.
He had to find another gig.
Or you know what? He was working with a team that wasn't university associated. Maybe he was using the closest university for convenience. And this is his actual home university.
Yeah, I prefer to think there was a horrible scandal involving him and a small group of female students.
Oxford University is one of the best colleges in the world. I love the old buildings here. Some of them have gargoyles on the outside.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes, no. Stonehenge. The ancient Romans named it gonorrhea. Wait, what? No. Chorea gigantum, which means the giant's dance. You see, I've long to uncover its mysteries since my boyhood in Wales. If only they'd let me begin today. It's a great honour that London's Society of Antiquaries put me in charge of the excavation, but they've forced me to put off the dig until October. The idea of waiting that long to unearth this find is driving me to madness. Madness, I tell you.
Could the artifact be some kind of druid treasure?
No, yes. No. The Druids probably had little or nothing to do with Stonehenge. I'm hoping that this treasure is a Bronze Age grave from thousands of years ago. If it is, the items buried there will tell us a great deal about Britain's ancient past. Yes.
But I thought the druids built Stonehenge.
Yes. No. That, I'm afraid, is a myth, as unproven as the legends of Merlin the Magician. People love to connect Druids with Stonehenge. I suppose it's a romantic image. White-robed figures performing ancient rites among the silent stones, in the full moon, in the darkness, with no clothing. Wait, no, hold on, that's something entirely different. People sometimes prefer to believe what they would like to believe, prefer to believe what they would like to be true, rather than what historians know to be true.
Then there were no real druids?
No. Yes, actually, quite the contrary. Julius Caesar himself wrote about them at the time of the Roman occupation of Britain. The ancient Druids indeed existed. But Stonehenge was constructed almost 2,000 years before the Romans came here, certainly before the Druids ever came to be. Who then built Stonehenge? We may never know, but perhaps this excavation may lend us some clues.
So now, finally, let's go to Stonehenge itself, get the last round of clues, and figure this out. But I don't think it's the professor, because the professor seems to know what he's talking about with his history, and whoever did it is going with the fantasized image of the druids. So
let's go to Stonehenge.
Everybody has presented a motive so far, though. Right, the train to Salisbury will get us to Stonehenge. But which platform do we need to find?
Alright, I'm up.
It's 10:09 right now. So what's the next platform to Salisbury?
So the post 10:09 to Salisbury.
Actually, it's 10:51, but in game it's 10:09.
Ah, Salisbury, they make wonderful steak there. Uh,
Isn't there a little town called Salisbury outside of Ocean City?
maybe that sounds familiar. There is a 10:15 to Salisbury at third. What is that? Hang on a minute. 3392.
What?
33. Oh, that's the train number. Hold on. You need the platform. So the 10:15 platform 7. There we go.
I'm requesting a break between mysteries.
All right.
I need a bio break.
Yeah, I need to get another water.
That's right. We need to head to platform 7 to catch the 10:15 to Salisbury. Let's go.
Isn't there a song called Salisbury Hill? I may be thinking of something else. The magnificent prehistoric monument of Stonehenge lies in Salisbury Plain in southeastern England. The great stones have stood here on the lonely plain for over 3,500 years. Theories abound as to their true use and construction. Welcome to BBC World Service. At the tone, the time will be 22:44. Boop.
Wow, this place is wild. I wonder how primitive people could have built such a huge structure. Let's see if that guard can tell us anything about the weird stuff that went on last night.
Mr. Becker.
He's new.
Yeah, trying to think of.
It got us all a bit spooked, this story of Avery's. Mystical white-robed intruders strolling about the stones. Has me looking over my shoulder, don't you know?
He looks like a riffraff with hair.
Let me show you where the holes were found. They're over here by the inner sarsen stones. Mind you don't trip over the guard rope now. That'd just be a shame.
The holes dug by the intruder are about 2 feet deep. There's one at the base of each of 4 standing stones. None of the holes seem to have anything removed from them. There is no impression of a missing object pulled out of the dirt. Thanks for letting us inside the rope barrier, Mr. Becker. Is that there to help the police keep the crime scene fresh?
Oh no, this rope is up all year round. Before this barrier was up, I'm sad to say, some visitors to Stonehenge would carve their initials in the stones and even chip off pieces of them as souvenirs. If everyone did that, there'd soon be nothing left.
They need to make up a story about curses like that place in Hawaii did to keep people from taking the lava stones with them.
Huh.
Yeah, supposedly it's cursed, but they made it up.
The guidebook says that these huge standing stones are called the sarsen stones. The stone across the top is called a lintel. Scientists believe that these stone circles were built over 4,000 years ago. Some of the rocks have fallen over since then, but you can still see the shape of the inner horseshoe and the outer circle that make up Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, where their children play.
The smaller stones that make a circle inside the sarsen stones are called blue stones because of their bluish color. The guidebook says these stones were brought here from the Preseli Mountains in Wales, almost 250 miles away. No one is absolutely sure how the people who built Stonehenge managed to transport the huge rocks across that great distance. In 2000 BC, there were no trucks or railroads to make the job easier. Is that an animal I see in the corner there?
I'm not sure. I think it's one of the very rare Stonehenge bunnies.
Maybe. The guidebook calls this stone the heel stone. It's far outside the stone circle, marking the path that leads into the center.
Looks like a bird.
Ah, you found the heel stone. All of the rocks here are mysterious and ancient, but this one has a very special meaning.
What do you mean, Mr. Becker? Is this where the Druids performed human sacrifices? Wow!
Human sacrifices? Who told you that rubbish? No, this stone is more of an astronomical signpost. It was set here by the ancients to help them mark the longest day of the year, Midsummer's Day. It was a weird, weird day. On that day, if you stand in the center of the stone circle, you'll see the sunrise right on the tip of this stone. Anyone who studied Stonehenge could tell you that.
So this is the stone that would be crowned by the midsummer sunrise. But the mysterious figure in white didn't dig around this stone at all. I wonder why.
Yeah, and I don't know why the guard was being so snobby about that piece of knowledge, considering Scotland Yard has to bring in preteens to solve cases for them. All right, so
So this one's tough. We need to figure out who's going to who did the robes.
I think it was Spinal Tap. That's my final answer.
We know it's a
I
white
don't know.
robed figure representing the druids, so I don't think we need the generic clues.
Yeah, I'll be honest yet again. Every time we do this, I don't follow these at all. I'm just doing voices. I don't follow the meaning whatsoever. So it's like, yeah, sure. Occasionally I'll pick stuff up, but yeah, think of me as a
All right, the
think of me
guard's
as a
attacker
well-trained
only
parrot.
dug at the sarsen stones. The letter says that
Yeah,
we
that
want
mentions
that one.
that stone particularly. Yeah, large stone, lentils, no. Blue stones, no. The heel stone. Yeah, that's just
Maybe.
giving location. Ah, that one.
So we want someone who has not studied Stonehenge.
Yeah. Yeah, skip all that. It's good. Not okay.
We know
So
Professor Mathon has studied Stonehenge because he had the best picture of its history. Everyone else seems to think druids.
hmm. Percy Tribb has motive, but there we go. Expert on antique furniture. All right. Sandra Tribb. Yeah, there we go. No.
No.
What?
Well, we know Sandra took the day off and she didn't study
Yeah.
Stonehenge. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Our clue is the fact that
Wait.
whoever
You
did
just
it was at the wrong
it
stones.
okay, dude. It just popped up and said we've got the things we need. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. I know what it said. Uh, in the paintings he's seen, druids always wear. Was the attacker described as being in a white robe?
Yes, but that won't help us because that's just the outer appearance of the attacker. We need the clues of who the attacker actually is. Anybody could put on a white.
True, but
Anyone
well,
could
but
put on
hold
a
on.
white robe and sneak around Stonehenge.
Right, but if you were trying to be a druid and you just saw paintings of druids, you would wear a white robe. Hey, we got a Shinobu and a Luna. And Luna says new setup. Yes, it is, and you can only see half of it because of the way the camera
All
has to
right.
be. But
First, let's get our
yeah,
Heelstone stuff back. Um,
um, 1 second here. I have a point of order that I have to do while we have a Luna and a Shinobu here. Shinobu, did is your Odyssey 2 still in the shed? I don't remember. Or did you move it to storage or take it with you? Because here's why I ask. I got one in the box there, but it doesn't have the power supply. So I was going to see if it's here and I could look for it and try the power supply with that and see if it works. Yes, okay, so the shed, right? Does it's I'm assuming it's got the power supply with it, right? And also does it have any games in it other than the Lord Quest of the Rings thing, because I don't want to play that without you because that's like a thing. Cool, cool. All right. No games other than games are in storage. Okay. All right. Sorry, Ev.
I'm just
Just
going through.
had to
We know it's
figure
Sandra
something out.
Trent. We just got to make sure we select the correct 5 clues. So,
Luna is saying, Brett, Brett. Selecting clues. Okay. They only dug holes around the large rocks called the Sarsen stones. So that was the mistake that they made, right?
Yeah.
No?
All right. Here's we could attack this with a different pair of clues though. Only 5 people saw the letter. Gage, who we know isn't a suspect because he's the investigator. Buckley, Trib, Trent, and Mathon. So we know those are the people who saw the letter. Then we come back here. Mathon, Buckley, and Trib are 3 of the experts. Um, Becker says anyone who has studied Stonehenge would know the heel stone was the midsummer.
Yeah, I've got no idea on this one, so I'm just going to answer a question from chat. Not sure where in storage I do have the key. I do have the key, yes, but I have not gone there yet because I haven't done the thing where I was going to go around and like find all the stuff that's still here and move it in there. So and I don't frankly want to go dig around in storage. So as
Fill
long as
the
it's
air
got
while I
the
puzzle
power
through these
supply,
assortments of clues
yeah,
because it
yeah,
wants us to pick the correct 5 clues. And
yep,
I
yep,
thought I did. I picked the obvious clues and the clues that actually make sense to be the answer, but it says they're
yeah.
wrong. So you just fill dead air while I puzzle this out.
Yeah, it's basically kind of what I'm doing. But yeah, I want to test that, and I also got I don't know if it's even like legible in the shot, but I got the Pong doubles thing from Atari, um, which is 4-player Pong, which is kind of cool. I haven't hooked it up to test it yet. It just like came in a few days ago. Other than that, I think everything's pretty much the same. I found some stuff that I loaded up on the second shelf. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I got some stuff loaded up there, but there was something that I found that was interesting. I can't remember what. Oh, I forgot to turn on my unicorn. Oh well. Damn. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, there was something that I'd found that was I something you might have been interested in, but I can't remember now. I'll know it if I see it. One thing that is nice about this is that I finally have a proper spot for. I don't know if you can see it in the shot here, but the joystick decanter is now in a much safer place than what it was. I hated it being on top of the record cabinet because that always made me so nervous. Because there's no way I'm ever going to get another one of those because they're
Okay, we
not.
got the clues.
What was the clues? What was the
All right.
difference?
It was a combination of the train of thought about they dug in the wrong place and the train of thought
Yeah.
about 3 of the 4 suspects studied Stonehenge and would have known not to dig where the place was dug.
So it was the lady then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the clue that you picked that was different?
Uh,
Because it sounded like the same ones we picked.
Pretty much, I just I took out one of the clues about the stones and put in one of the clues about the people.
Took out the clues for the stones and put in clues for the
Now I
kinks.
took out
Nice.
one clue about the stones and
Ah. Okay.
replaced it with one specific clue about the people.
Okay. This is funny. This is the first one out of all of these we've done that we've gotten a little stumped on. So maybe these are going to get a little more challenging. I'll try
Uh,
paying more attention, but
it's not
I
that
don't
we
know if
were
it's going to work.
stumped. We knew who it was all along and why. It's just that we had trouble figuring out exactly which clues it intended us to pick. This mystery had a few misleading trails. In the end, what mattered wasn't what the culprit knew, but what they didn't know. Whoever attacked the guard was looking for something, something like the treasure mentioned in Lord Langley's letter. Inspector Gage told us that only he, Sandra Trent, Professor Mathon, Curator Buckley, and Percy Tribb had seen Lord Langley's letter. The
You're
inspector's
tripping.
desk calendar showed that he had been on a stakeout all night with 2 other constables, so we could rule him out. Plus,
Yeah, he
why
was
would
on
he
a
be a suspect in his
stakeout.
own investigation, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The letter said that the ancient artifacts were buried under the stone, crowned by the midsummer sunrise. Mr. Becker, the day guard at Stonehenge, told us that a person standing in the center of Stonehenge would see the sun come up on the Heelstone on the Midsummer's Day. He said that anyone who had studied Stonehenge would know this. But the person who attacked the guard didn't know this. They dug for the treasure underneath the stones which make up the inner circle, not at the Heelstone, which is way outside the main area. Professor Mathon, Curator Buckley, and Percy Tribb are all experts on Stonehenge. They knew
Could be.
instantly that the treasure was buried under the Heelstone, and that's where they would have dug to retrieve it.
Who's
But
Doug?
Sandra Trent is not an expert on Stonehenge. Overhearing the conversation of the others, she realized that the giant's dance referred to Stonehenge, but she did not catch the reference to the Heelstone.
All right, one. Hold on a second. I've got a question in chat. What's that behind the NES Classic box? If you're talking about the arcade thing there, that's a. If that's what you're talking about, that's a Radio Shack arcade machine. It's like a Simon thing, basically. It's from probably 81, maybe 82, something like that.
Okay. So when she
Yeah, I've
went
got
to
a few
Stonehenge
things
and
like that.
assaulted the guard, she dug for the treasure under the wrong stones.
Yeah, I've got a handful of different things that I really would like to put up here, but I just don't have room for it. I got to figure something out. All right, here we go. Radio guy. American visitor. Oh, wait, that's the BBC guy. I need radio guy. American visitors uncloak Stonehenge assailant. Sandra Trent of Snoopy's auction house was erected. Oh, oh boy. Let's try that again. Sandra Trent of Snoopy's auction house was arrested yesterday with the help of Eagle Eye Detective Uncle Evie and Jennifer Eagle on charge of assault and trespassing. Ms. Trent confessed to being the mysterious white robed figure who last evening rendered a Stonehenge guard unconscious in order to steal what may be a landmark cache of Bronze Age artifacts. The praise should go to Uncle. He put together the vital clues that led us to arrest Ms. Trent, and that should be LED, not LEAD in that sentence. Proofreaders, come on, let's go. Inspector Gage stated. After studying the witness profiles and facts on Stonehenge itself, the young detective deduced that only Ms. Trent could have dug for the artifacts under the wrong stones. The official evacuation on the site will begin in October. We'll be sure to send a special package on our findings to our young friends in the States, said Professor Mathon, lead archaeologist on the dig. Oh, wow.
All right, let's take a
Faceplant on that
very
one.
short break and then get back because we're supposed to do 3 more tonight.
Yep, yep. Oh, Shinobu says her grandfather had one she used to play with. Hang on a minute. If that's the case, let me go ahead and. Actually, we're gonna go to break because I got to move some stuff. But we'll go to break because we're gonna do. Evie's gonna do something, and I'm going to go grab a water, and I'll go ahead and pull that down because it's got the
I,
thing actually inside
I'm
of
gonna
it.
go
So
chug a
give
two
her.
liter of Sprite and hopefully not drown myself.
Hmm. You should record the burps because that would be epic after an entire 2 liter.
No, I'm not drinking the whole 2 liter. I'm just having a few sips.
Oh, you
But
said chugging. That means
I'm gonna
drink the whole
chug a
thing.
few sips. But I need to
Okay.
save some because it's my last bottle.
Sip a few chugs. All right, cool. All right. Well, in that case, we'll go on break for. We'll do. I'll do probably like 3 or 4 minutes here, or something like that, and then I'll be back, and then
That's
Evan can
about what
join,
I'll
or
need. I'll
Evie can
need
join wherever.
realistically about 5 minutes. It's 11:10. I should be back by 11:15.
All right. In that case, we're going to flip over to break now, and we will. Let me get my
I'll
music
leave.
fixed here. Hang on.
I'll leave your input on in case you get back before I do.
All right. All right. Sounds good. All right. I'm hitting break now. 3, 2, 1, and break. Okay, we are back. Get my level set here. There we go. All right. So yeah, I went ahead and pulled down the thing, and let's see how to do this here. This is like right in front of the mic. Yeah. Here's the a better view of the box for it, and hopefully this will take you down memory lane if in fact this is the same. Oh, hello Salem. Hi. Hello. Your timing is bizarre. This is the actual device. It's a Radio Shack 12 is all it's labeled as, just the 12 computerized arcade, and it looks like this. So, is this the same thing that you played with? Is what I would be wondering about that. Stickers coming off the back. This one's not in super great shape. I got it for pretty cheap. I have no idea how this even works. It came with the instruction book here, or the owner's manual, I should say, which I'm assuming tells how to play the different things. And I think it was supposed to come with. Oh, no, that's interesting. Oh, how bizarre! It's got a schematic of the device, like an actual schematic. I don't think I've ever seen that. Let's see, did I mute his Discord? Give me 1 second. Well, it looks like I forgot to do that actually. Hope he didn't say anything horribly embarrassing. But yeah, it comes with this. But let's see. I think it's missing some stuff because it's supposed to come with some of these cards, and I only got one card with it, and it's got roulette. Somehow it's supposed to like randomly pick a thing, and also this is marked as game 6 and game 7, which is baseball. Came with the card for that. Apparently, it's supposed to come with like X number of these. I guess it's model 12, so probably 6 of those double-sided cards, I would bet. Let's see here. Game 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's 12 games in it, hence the name. So yeah, it should have come with 6 of those, and it did not. But I do have one of them just to get the idea, I suppose. But needs a little bit of refurb, needs a little bit of cleaning. And I would turn it on and run it, but it takes C-size batteries, and I do not have any of them. So yeah, have to wait on that. But it's an interesting looking little gizmo. I was working at Radio Shack at one point in time. I don't think I was working there when they sold these. Let me see if there's an actual copyright date on this. No, no, whoops, no, yeah, no copyright. Oh well. Hope you enjoyed the trip down memory lane at least. I enjoy collecting little doodads like that, and I've got a few more things that just I wasn't able to. I didn't have room to put on the thing.
I'm back. Are you ready to continue?
I think so. Almost. I'm putting this game back up. So you said you can't see my stream right now, right, Evie?
Nope.
Okay. Shinobu was saying that this um, game thing that I have, an old Radio Shack handheld sort of a game, and she was saying that it was her grandfather's, and she used to play it when she was a kid, which I thought it was kind of neat. But if you're interested, you can find these for pretty cheap. I keep seeing them in different places, even in the box and everything. This one was only like $10, I think. I think I paid $10 for it, pretty sure. But I'm almost ready. Just let me get this back in the box so it doesn't get discombobulated here. One moment. And I'll put it back up on the display wall later. There we go. Set that to the side. All right. Are we prepared to proceed?
Yeah, we're going into the case of the pirate puzzle.
Let's do some pirates and puzzling. Yar.
Hey, actually, isn't that the name of an MMO, Puzzle Pirates?
Maybe?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Sorry, I'm fiddling with my controls here. There we go. It's better. All right. Back to the game. The game is a foot. And also an elbow. Bonjour, children. Your Aunt Miranda suggested I give you a call. I am in search of pirate treasure.
Pirate treasure. Cool. Any way we can help, Mr. Dumont?
My name is Etienne Dumont. But of course, why else would I be calling? Please come and meet me at the Cutty Sack right away, s'il vous plaît.
Eh?
It is
Sure,
Scotch.
Mr. Dumont. We can leave right away. Pirate treasure. Let's go.
There's the map.
I'm on a bus, 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 bus. I'm on a bus, 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 bus. I'm on a bus.
The Cutty Sark always blows me away. I'd love to learn how to sail a huge ship like this. I actually have two Lego ships, the Black Pearl and a Viking ship.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've seen the Black Pearl before.
Welcome, Uncle Jennifer, my friends. I am so glad you can help me and my other good friends in search for pirate treasure. Oui, oui, ba, 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 ba.
No problem. Was the Cutty Sark a pirate ship, Mr. Dumont?
My cat's looking at me like I'm clinically insane.
Oh, no, no, it was a Windjammer, a fast merchant ship. I am here studying how sailing ships were put together to better understand pirate ships. Oui, oui. Poo poo, pla pla. All right, children, here's the story. I'm looking of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. I'm looking for the pirate ship Calamity, and I think I found her.
Oh, I just saw Luna's comment. How bizarre. How bizarre.
It is known that the ship sank in the year 1700 after smashing into Binnacle Rock in the West Indies. It was laden with Spanish treasure when it went down. A Royal Navy oceanographic ship has found three areas with unusual patterns on the seafloor east of Binnacle Rock. One of them is surely the remains of the Calamity, but which one? That is what we must find out, and soon, too sweet, mon chéri. For you see, the infamous Morgan Salvage Company also knows about the Royal Navy map, and Morgan will ransack the site just to recover the golden jewels that will ruin everything. You see, my team of archaeologists hopes to study the Calamity so we can learn more about how the pirates lived. We also hope to recover artworks for museums. Very little is really known about pirates. All we really know so far is two letters of the alphabet. A, and also R. And few pirate shipwrecks have ever been found.
You know, I've never really understood about pirates, whether they were real or if the people who write Hollywood movies just made them up.
They were real, I assure you, and most fascinating. Here's what I need you to do. Go to our research ship in Torbay and meet my partner, Max Landers. He'll show you what we know about the Calamity. He will also treat you to a fine, fine crepe, Suzette. And if you wish, go to the Ritz Hotel. You'll see for yourself that Salvage Morgan is a greedy, grasping modern-day pirate, he is. And do not eat their crepes, they are crap. That's
The
the
Cutty
Ritz
Sark
Hotel.
is one of the clipper ships. Beautiful vessels that were the biggest and fastest ever made. If you sewed the sails of a big clipper ship all together in one big sheet, they would cover more than an acre of land. That's a lot of canvas. When the Cutty Sark was built in 1869, steamships had already been crossing the Atlantic for 40 years. Yet clipper ships could far outspeed the best steamship of that time. The nautical map shows the north coast of Mystère Island in the West Indies. 3 places on the seafloor are marked in red.
Down in the lower left corner is Binnacle Rock. The pirate ship Calamity hit this rock, and it may have sunk right on the spot. That's the first potential site. In the middle of the map is Seaweed Bed. The Calamity might have kept sailing after it struck the rock, gradually taking on water until it sank at this point. That's site number 2. In the upper right-hand corner of the map is Coral Reef. It's possible that the Calamity made it this far before sinking. Coral Reef is site number 3. Or trois in my native tongue. We only have enough money to investigate one site. We must be sure we know where the Calamity lies before we set sail for Mystère Island. We might have to do a Cirque du Soleil show.
Was wir there?
A what?
Cirque du Soleil. It is a team of acrobats.
Well, there is a Cirque du Soleil show called Mystère. It's one of their older ones.
That is correct. That is the source of my humor.
Yikes. That must be the people from the Morgan Salvage Company.
They look like scuzz buckets.
My spies tell me that you've been able to see the Dumont. You can tell Mr. Dumont that the Calamity's treasure's ours. We know where it lies, right, boys? Mm-hmm. We found out the easy way. We asked the captain of the Calamity Cutlass Jack himself.
But he
Sure
must have
did.
died hundreds of years ago.
Well, you see, that's right. In fact, he went down with the ship. But time and space are no obstacle to a talented man like Mr. Spectre. Come on, boys. Let's set sail. Har har. Yar. Aye.
Mr.
Ar-
Spectre? I think he has an ad in our guidebook. Fortunes read, talk to the dead. See Mr. Spectre, soothsayer, today in Covent Garden.
Fortune's red. Talk to the dead. Cross my palm with a little bit of bread. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I will help you. Talk to the dead. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Come on, talk to me and talk to dead. That's the dance remix. Covent Garden houses dozens of charming shops and restaurants in London's West End. Its long walkways are always crowded with vendors and buskers, street singers, vying for tourist pounds. Pound benefited from the dollar's weakness today, raising to the giddy height of 2.44 before falling back. Welcome to the BBC.
I don't know
service.
about
At the time,
this.
the tone will be 11:27:32.
I don't know about this. Mr. Spectre seems like a pretty creepy guy.
Oh yeah, the ghost of let's see, this guy's he looks like he's Australian. The ghost of Cutlass Jack. Quite a rude and insolent chap he was. All upset his bones are still lying unburied on the seafloor. That sounds more British. Meow meow, I know Salem. I know. Salem's complaining about the burdens of life as a cat, and he slides off the couch. He recovered gracefully now. He told me all about how the Calamity smashed into a submerged rock and promptly went down with all hands. A Spanish ship was nearby, but it just watched.
Gee, is there any way we can talk to Cutlass Jack? We have some questions for him.
Certainly you can talk with him. Go to the cemetery, stand on Captain Kidd's grave facing south and say, "Oh, pirate of the dismal sea, tell us how your bones may be," and Cutlass Jack will appear. Now I must be about my business. Good day. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Shinobu says she misses Salem, Miku, and everyone. Yeah, well, we miss you too.
We're going to the cemetery to see if we can summon the ghost of the dead pirate. Just like the other crew apparently did. Are you sure we should be doing this? Seems creepy to me, but if you want, we'll do what Mr. Spectre said. Actually, that's another funny pun name. Mr. Spectre, and he talks to the dead. What's another word for ghosts?
Spirit.
Spectre. Here we go. Let's see if we can communicate with the ghost of Cutlass Jack. I'll stand on the grave of Captain Kidd. He was hanged here in London for piracy, and I'm facing south. Oh, pirate of the dismal sea.
Napster must have been really serious back then.
What?
I said Napster must have been really serious about stuff back then.
What do you mean?
Piracy, music piracy. You're too young.
Oh, pirate of the dismal sea, tell us how your bones may be. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Well, that was a big dud. Really, I don't know why I let you talk me into these silly things sometimes. Oh well, I guess you're right. Anything in the name of investigating. So we know Mr. Spectre and the salvage. We can't trust their word about what Captain Jack said himself because.
Of course not. Yeah. Here at the house. Yeah, it's definitely different without the Shinobu around. You know, I haven't gotten anywhere near the workout on my board games as I did previously, so I've actually kind of fallen back in buying them lately.
If I remember right, Torbay's down to the far southwest of England on the coast.
You got another comment from Shinobu. Yar har fiddle-dee-dee. Yar har
The
fiddle-dee-dee.
rail
Do
line
what
to
you want,
Torbay.
pirate is free.
The rail line to Torbay goes through Salisbury and Exeter. If we reach Plymouth, we've gone too far. Basically, we're going to meet Dumont's crew now and learn about
Yeah,
their research.
you don't go all the way to the Plymouth. You have to turn left at the Dodge and then turn right at the Chevy. You
It's Max Landers,
hit the
marine
Plymouth, you've gone too
archaeologist,
far.
and that must be his research boat, the Bone Adventure.
I've collected all the letters and manuscripts I could find that might pertain to the wreck of the Calamity. Let's go over them carefully. Shinobu, another comment. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. You know, some of these writings seem less reliable than others. If I were you, I'd pay more attention to what actual eyewitnesses to the wreck have to say. Altogether, too often people exaggerate and make up things if they weren't there to see it for themselves. This is a letter written by Roger Coyler, a seaman on board the Calamity when it sank. He's the only man to survive, and he explains why. Let's see, his name's Kyler.
And
so
he's
I
a
have
pirate.
to do this. Here's what's okay. Don't skip. Oh, hey Salem, what the fuck, dude. Anyway, he turned around and snapped at me. It's funny that his name's Kyler because the voice that I was doing for the pirate person earlier was basically based on early Kyler from Squidbillies, and now we have someone actually named Kyler, so I have to do the same voice. I'm kind of trapped into this now, so let's do this.
The night was utterly dark. Suddenly the ship shook and the decks groaned. I told the captain it was a sea serpent, but he said no, we had struck a rock. I took the wheel while he and the others went below. I stayed up top deck and drank some party liquor. We sailed on at least a league. Then in the night I suddenly saw two fiery eyes very close together and some way south of us. The sea serpent, says I. I'm ashamed to tell it, but I grew quite afraid. I leaped on overboard, and I was amazed to see only a few heartbeats together. The gallant Calamity began to sink. In a moment she was gone with all hands. Heaven help 'em. Don't touch the trim.
This is a page from the journal of Carlo Moreno, a Spanish sailor marooned on Mystere Island in the year 1700. He talks about a shipwreck he saw.
I camped on a spit of land north and a little east from the campfire of the natives at the river's mouth. I was despairing of rescue and prepared to consign my soul to heaven, when dimly I saw a ship directly to the north in the night. With great speed I built a signal fire and lit it. Surely the ship would see it, all the natives fired. Come to investigate, I thought. But to my amazement the ship began to sink, as did my spirits.
Wow, this man talks about a spit of land and a camp at the river's mouth. Do you know if there are places like that on Mr. Dumont's map?
I don't know, Jennifer. You should go back to Mr. Dumont and find out. He's still at the casebook.
So the pirate survivor, he said he saw the serpent's eyes. That letter mentioned there were two campfires, his and the tribe's. Are those the serpent's eyes?
I'm thinking probably so, yeah.
We have one more letter to read before we go look at the map.
This is the captain's log of the Spanish treasure. This is the captain's log of the Spanish treasure ship Serena. It says here that one day in the year 1700, the crew spotted a pirate ship and put up all sail to escape. But the pirate was faster and better armed, so the Serena surrendered. Serena surrendered.
Wow, so what happened? Did they all have to walk the plank?
No, actually pirates usually only took treasure and didn't kill prisoners. Piracy was really kind of a business. If a pirate let a ship go, it might bring more treasure next time. The Spanish captain reports the pirate took all his gold. Then both ships sailed to the northeast. And then read what happened. It's crazy, you won't believe it. Number 4 will really knock you in the head. That's you, bud.
No, that's you. It's got quotation marks. It's the letters being written by the people who were at the shipwreck.
Oh. All right, I don't know who to do for the voice on this.
This is the captain of the Spanish ship.
Yeah, Was he the guy that was talking a minute ago?
I think so.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Behold, in the dark of night, we came across a bedraggled man clinging to a plank, surrounded by flotsam and jetsam and bobsam and josam of a shipwreck. We took him aboard and found him to be a pirate named Roger Coiler.
What are you doing, Salem?
His ship, the one which had robbed us, had hit a rock and sank. He alone survived. So we gave thanks to the Almighty for our good fortune, despite everything that happened before that, and welcome winds sprang up to bear us far away from that cursed place.
Okay, so
Salem wants more
now
treats. More ASMR from our show here.
we need to go back and talk to Dumont again, and then we should be able to figure out where the ship sank. So we know the ship didn't sink quite right away, because that was the nonsense talking to ghost drivel that proved to be nothing.
It was crap.
Hey, Mr. Dumont, we'd like another look at your map.
Oui, oui, mon chéri. A spit of land, a camp at the mouth of a stream. I think those do appear on my map. On maps, a spit is a small point of land that sticks out into water. In France, however, it is actually spitting on someone. We do that a lot. It's usually made up of sand or gravel. The mouth of a stream or river is where it empties into a larger body of water, like a lake or ocean. Let's see. The Spaniards' camp on the spit of land, the cannibals' camp was at the mouth of the stream. Let's see what lies north of that.
Alright, so here's the river mouth,
Uh-huh.
and here's the spit of land.
Uh-huh.
So north
Coral
of
reef.
both of those would be the coral reef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only option.
Unless your map is sideways. Right, the spit of land was removed. The spit of land where the band Maroon 5 built his fire is north and a little east of where the natives had their camp, and the coral reef is directly north of the spit.
Okay, buddy?
So I think we're ready to solve this.
Alright, let's do the thing. Let's do this nastiness.
Make it nasty. The nastiness.
Let's see, I would like to fire magic missile at the darkness.
Yeah, that's not going to solve this.
But Salem agreed, you see. He said,
Meow.
which means yeah.
Alright, I think we're going with coral reef as our answer here.
Yeah, I think so too. Found out bias and blah blah. So said the calamity went down right near Binnacle Rock. That's so two lights very close together. Yep. You know, he's on a spanning spit north and a little east of a campfire when he lit his own signal fire. Yep. Nope. And nope. The coral reef is north of both. Yeah, there we go.
We're going to the coral reef.
Going to the coral reef. We're gonna find some coral. A bucka 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 bow wow.
You got it. The pirate wreck is nearby the coral reef. Roger Cuyler was the sole survivor of the Calamity's wreck. He said he saw two fiery eyes close together south of the ship just before it sank. He thought it was a sea serpent and jumped overboard. That probably saved his life.
Also known as Early Kyler.
What he actually saw were two campfires. One was Carlo Moreno's, and the other was the camp of Mystere Island's natives. On the map, one campfire was north and a little east of the other, so the only place where Roger Cuyler would see them as two fiery eyes close together would be farther north still at Coral Reef. That's where the calamity went down.
It was quite the calamity, let me tell you. It was quite the sight. Pirate ship found. Thanks to Uncle Evie and Jennifer Eagle of the Eagle Eye Detective Agency, an undersea exploration ship has located a pirate ship wrecked in the year 1700. The pirate ship Calamity went down after hitting Binnacle Rock, but sank to the ocean floor by a nearby coral reef. The Calamity is reported to have a hold full of gold at the time. After years of research, we found it on our first dive, said undersea archaeologist Max Landers. because Uncle and Jennifer had already deduced where it must be. It is most exciting and through project leader Etienne Dumont. Now we will learn a lot about how pirates lived. One of the things we know they did was share the loot. Etienne continued, so we will bring Uncle and Jennifer each a gold doubloon when we return.
Isn't that the Morgan salvage lady standing with the other two?
It is, yeah, a little sus there. I think there
Maybe
was
they
some
all got
doubloons.
together. Maybe
There
they
was
all
some
decided to do
doubloons.
it together.
There was some doubloons changing hands on that deal. That's what
Maybe
that's
they
about.
decided we's a friends.
We should maybe being friends. We should like this.
Moving on, we're doing the case of the horrible hound.
Or in England, the horrible hound.
Case of the horrible hound.
You know, there's been quite a few cat-based mysteries in the game so far. This might be our first dog one.
Yeah, it was probably chasing a cat though. This
Actually,
is a red
second.
herring.
Remember there was that one with the hunting hounds? This will be our second dog-related one.
The little change up is good every so often.
Uncle Jennifer, can you come to Torbay right away? I'm afraid something terrible is going to happen to my ponies. All 6 of them, with different colors.
Well, Ray, calm down. We'll do what we can to save your ponies. What's going on?
Oh, Jennifer, I can't tell you over the telephone. It's too horrible. Just come down to Torbay straight away.
She hung up. Wild. Looks like we better hop a train. Get your raincoat. I'll tell Uncle Basil.
Some bizarre creature that looked like it was made up of other creatures has showed up and started doing magic everywhere. It's really terrifying. And he sounds a lot like that guy from Star Trek. It's very odd.
Are you talking about Discord? I wonder
No,
what's
we're talking on Discord.
I wonder what's got Ray Maringe so worked up. What terrible thing could happen to her ponies? I'm going to read up on horses and ponies on the way down. Okay, grab the train schedule in your handbook and let's find out which platform we need.
All right, so we need Torbay.
It's 11:40 a.m. Which platform goes to Torbay at 11:40 a.m.? Funny story, it's actually 11:40 p.m. in real time here.
Oh, it is. That's funny.
Actually, technically 11:41, but still.
Okay, so Torbay at 11 or after 11:40. Oh, 11:45, platform 12.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it.
That's what we
on to
said.
platform 12 and Torbay.
I'm on a train. I'm on a train.
There's Ray. Her father, Ved, is with her. Looks like they brought some ponies, too.
You realize I'm going to pack this full of as many My Little Pony references as humanly possible. All right.
Thanks, Uncle, for coming out so promptly. My father says I shouldn't have rung you, but I think we need help. And Lady Saltcoast says you're the best, and so does Twilight. The moon will be new in a few days, see? That means it'll be dark at night. And I think something terrible will come after our ponies. Because that Luna person is still in the moon. It's awful. At the last dark moon, see, Bristol Stables lost 8 ponies. And I hear that before that, White Elephant Farms lost a dozen or so. I believe they turned into changelings. I don't know that that's possible, but whatever. I'm afraid our turn is next. We're the only pony outfit that had foals this year. A foal is a baby pony. We have about 24 new arrivals. If they're attacked, the foals won't be able to run away, and they'll never get their cutie marks.
Run away from what, Ray?
Now, dear, let's not jump to conclusions and start.
Dad, they have to know. The ponies are being attacked by the horrible hound.
Yikes.
I believe a great big dog or wolf is haunting Dartmoor, and every month it carries off some ponies and eats them. My father says I'm quite mistaken.
That sounds pretty horrible, Ray. Is there any proof this hound really exists?
Yes, but it's too dreadful to talk about. Talk to the other pony owners. They're usually in the Smuggler's Inn this time of day. Because that's the place where people who own ponies would hang out, is the Smuggler's Inn.
I'm sorry my daughter has bothered you, but she's terribly protective of her ponies. She'd do anything to keep them from harm and galloping free on the moors.
You let your ponies run free, Mr. Murridge?
Oh, yes, all the pony owners do. Dartmoor's a free range, and rangeland is hard to come by here in England. You see, you Yanks got all the land in that whole deal, but yes. To tell the herds apart, we each tag our ponies on their ears. Also, their cutie marks do come in handy, I will say. By law, any ponies without tags or cutie marks belong to the Prince of Wales. They're wild ponies that run free upon the moor. I've saddled up the ponies so we can all ride out to Dartmoor. It's only a few kilometers to our herd. The hound has never been seen in the daytime. The trip should be safe.
Let's go.
I don't know about Discord. I don't know about Discord though. He could pop up at any moment. He's so strange. He keeps asking for a glass of water.
Riding ponies is sure fun, Ray. Although my you-know-what is pretty sore. Is it fun to have your own pony?
By you know what, you mean your butt? Oh, I see. It's great fun, but it's a lot of work. Having a pony really taught me how to be responsible. You have to feed them and groom them every day, and occasionally they go off on wacky adventures and they're gone for days on end. They've also taught me patience and how to communicate without words. Ponies are little horses with big personalities. They don't always do what you want. Luckily, of all the small horses, Dartmoor ponies are among the best for kids. Well, all except for the other 6 ones. They're great for riding and they really aren't too skittish or stubborn usually. And they love to show off, casting spells, baking
Whoa,
cakes.
Ray, who is that up ahead?
That's Miss Burney. She just started running her own ponies in Dartmoor. She's seen the Orbital Hound with her own eyes.
I've seen the hound a couple of times, actually. Twice I saw something stalking far away upon the moor, but I didn't know at the time what it was. But just last evening I saw it real close. It was a huge hound with wide, cruel jaws. It had a young pony in its mouth. When it saw me, it growled and slunk away, which was odd behavior for a pony. It was terrifying. I'm rounding up my ponies to try and protect them. I wish I had some dogs back at Burney Farm, but I don't. Llamas and ostriches, yes. Dogs, no.
Miss Burney, do you think the hound is wild or does it belong to somebody?
I think it's wild, and usually feeds upon the wild Dartmoor ponies, but now it's starting to appear around our herds for some reason. I'm just relieved that I haven't lost any ponies yet. I have the same number last year. Thank heavens my herd doesn't have any foals this year. They'd be easy prey. What with no cutie marks and all.
Oh, Uncle, what am I going to do to save my foals? And give them skateboards.
Okay, so we have a witness who actually saw the beast. So we know there is some kind of dog running around. But the question is it this monster dog they're talking about? Or is it just a coincidence?
No. Yes.
Let's hear what the people in the Smuggler's Inn have to say about this horrible hound. There are two of the other pony owners. I wonder if they believe in the horrible hound too. Mr. Mutter's the owner of the inn. Let's ask him if anything unusual has been going on around here.
Ah, no. You learn to expect such things when you live near Dartmoor. A wild and forbidden place the moors are. Did you ever read The Hound of the Baskervilles? It's a Sherlock Holmes story set in the moors. In the story, a huge hound hunts down a man alone in the wilderness, or something like that.
Wow, then what happens?
What you think happens? He eats him. Well, not really. I can't tell you that without ruining the story. But Sherlock Holmes solves the riddle of how it got there. And part of the mystery was that someone wanted the hound to frighten people. I think one of the pony stables is using a giant hound to scare off the others. Could be any one of them.
It's valid. It's valid.
We've met him before also.
Yeah, Colonel Sweeney. Something's afoot, that I believe. My white elephant outfit lost a dozen ponies about 2 months ago. Blessed it all. They were my best beasts, too. At the next new moon, I was out on the moors with my dogs. I have a pack of them, wolfhounds. I breed them myself. No trouble with my ponies that time, by Godfrey.
So he owns hounds. He could be the one.
Mm.
So you think that a giant hound is loose on the moor?
No, 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 that's Balderdash. Twaddle. If they were a pony eating hound in Dartmoor, you can bet Buckingham Palace would get right on it. Can't have some jackal feasting on the prince's ponies now, can we? Buckingham Palace just finished a there. Buckingham Palace just finished a special census on the ponies. Can't allow too many of them, you know. Overgraze the park. Go talk to Dr. Pels at Buckingham Palace about her pony census. Your Aunt Miranda knows her. She'll call to arrange a visit. No, some blighter is behind these nocturnal disappearances, I'll wager. That woman Bainey, she's the villain. Believe it.
Why would Miss
That's
Burney do
not
something like this, and how?
that's not a hound. This is a hound. The balmy woman's got a menagerie. Ostriches, llamas. Probably's got some huge meat-eating monster hidden somewhere. That's my guess. Lets it out from time to time to feed. Bob Bristol. Aye, 8 of me strongest ponies gone in one night. During the last dark moon it was. And when they was grazing, look at what I found, eh?
Bob Bristol hands Jennifer a large fragment of bone.
Aye, bones. Strewn all over the landscape they were. Grizzly. Shocking. Bony. If you ask me, no one dog knew that. Mark me words, it's a pack of hounds. Yeah, it may be someone trying to scare us off the moor.
Yikes! Something scraped every last bit of meat off this bone and broke it in two. But now we have a physical clue. When we get back to London, let's show this bone to Dr. Mercury at the Natural History Museum.
He may be doing karaoke. He sings a lot of Queen songs. Can anybody? I can't sing the rest of it. It will rip my throat out through my nose. All right, another train, another train. Everywhere we go, we ride a
Just
train.
Queen songs? Don't they sing King songs too?
I don't think so. Although it surprises me there's not a band called King. I think there might be. The marvelous cathedral-like buildings of the Natural History Museum were built in 1881. It houses impressive examples of dinosaur skeletons and many... I don't know what is wrong with me tonight. It houses impressive examples of dinosaur skeletons and many rare and fascinating specimens of species extinct and living. Welcome to BBC World Service. At the tone, the time will be 23.
There's
24.
Dr. Mercury. He's just the guy we need to answer some questions about the bone fragment we got in Torbay.
Interesting.
We suspected as much. I bet it comes from an unusual animal, not a Dartmoor pony at all.
Oh, really? What kind of unusual animal do you think it comes from?
I'd say ostrich, but it doesn't look like a bird bone to me, too thick and heavy. So I'll guess it's a llama bone.
Oh, really? Llamas are those funny creatures from South America, you know. They use them as pack animals in the Andes.
Yes, if it's a llama bone, it would be a big clue.
Well, sorry to disappoint you, but I recognized the bird instantly. When I was at university, I worked in the kitchen of a Greek restaurant. It's actually a cucumber. We make sauces with it. I handle bones like this almost every night. It's too big to be a llama, or a pony for that matter. It's the thigh bone of a common cow. Anyone can get bones like this. They're everywhere.
Cowbone, cowbone. Gonna have cow bones on a cow farm.
Buckingham Palace is the London residence of the Queen and royal family. When the Queen is present in the palace, the royal standard is flown over the building. In order to help pay for the fire damage of Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace has been opened for public tours for the first time in Britain's history. Welcome to BBC World Service. At the tone, the time will be 23:24.
Thanks for coming out to meet us, Dr. Pels. We know you're really busy.
Well, your Aunt Miranda has done a great deal of good with her articles about parklands and the environment. When she called and said you were working on a problem threatening the Dartmoor ponies, I told her I'd try to help. I maintain the yearly data on the Prince's Darkmoor ponies, among my other more important duties. Our biologists conducted this year's pony count just last week. Here are the results. A good day. I'm busy.
Look, the princess biologist counted every pony in the area around Torbay. According to the census, the total population of Dartmoor ponies in that area hasn't gone down. It's actually gone up by about 24 ponies. The
Counting
chart
the
shows
ponies.
that there are.
One, two, three, four. Stop moving. I have to start over. One, two. Sit down. One, two. Okay, go ahead.
The chart shows that there are 12 fewer ponies in the white elephant herd and 8 fewer in the Bristol herd than there were last year. But the Burney herd has grown by 20, and the Maringe herd is larger by 24 compared to last year. The number of wild ponies has stayed the same.
Okay, hold for a second.
So
How
Bernie
many did
stole the other
Yeah.
horses.
Yeah, how so did it I wasn't paying attention to the numbers. Does it add up that way?
Yeah, and remember, Maringe had foals, so she's most likely not involved in the thievery.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact,
So
she's the
it,
one who called to start the investigation in the first place. So her increased number has nothing to do with the thievery.
yeah, no, it's not Meringue. It's Bernie, but I was just did the numbers from the previous slide add up to 20?
Yes, one
Okay, there we go.
one of the herds lost 8, and one of the herds lost 12, and these two other herds,
Yep.
one grew by 24, but they're not a suspect, and the other herd grew by 20.
Nice. Yep. That's Bernie.
The wild
Smoking
ponies have
gun.
stayed the
Bam.
same. Let's go
Book
ahead
him,
and put this one
Dano.
in the books.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, blah 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 with pony foals.
And isn't it funny that the only person who claimed to have actually seen the beast is the one who actually stole the horses to get them off her own
Yeah.
trail?
Yeah. Yep. Now that very first clue, 24 new ponies were born into their herd. It's saying that only one had ponies, and it wasn't Bernie. So
Yeah.
takes over.
But when we get to this, when we get to the clue that says that these two groups had increased numbers, this one rules out the Maringes.
Right. Yep.
So this clue
All right.
has to be paired
None of
with the
rest
other
of these
clue.
Yeah, the other two aren't anything. I don't think. That's 12 there.
We'll come back to this
Maybe
clue because we only get 5 clues.
Yeah, come back to that one. Yeah. That doesn't matter. Counted the ponies might matter because that's how we're finding what happened.
Yeah.
But
And
again,
maybe
I think I
Colonel
would
Sweeney with his
pause.
wolfhounds if it came to someone actually seeing the hound.
Yeah. He's any live animals. Colonel Sweeney suspects, but I don't think there's actually a hound. I think that's just she's just using a legend.
Well, all we know is Bernie is the one who stole the horses, and this clue doesn't say anything about stealing horses. It just says what other animals she has.
Grazing, he found piles of chewed up bones. Bristly, I don't know. Doing a pack of dogs. Yeah, these are all inconsequential. I think. Maybe, but I don't know. We'll come back to that. Someone used a real hound to scare people. Blah blah. Selling hound. Says she has no dogs. Mr. Brainy thinks a horrible hound is wild. Says it doesn't have any foals. That one. Yep. Sweeney lost 12 ponies. Bernie gained 20 ponies. I mean, yeah, yep. The bones, but now the bones supposedly left by the hound are common cow bones. That might be something to show that it's a setup. It's like pre-planned or whatever.
What's this?
Maybe.
Package for you.
Oh, I know what this is.
Supplies.
Machine supplies. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Hi, Brett.
What's up, Q?
I am
Or should I say
hungry.
Quay?
It's been a long day. I'm gonna go hang out in my room. Enjoy the rest of your stream.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
That's a
And I
cool
think we're in
picture, but it
that
doesn't enter
is,
into it.
yeah, I think we're in agreement. It's Miss Boini.
Miss Boyney, you're going to jail.
We could rename this The Case of the Red Herrings. In detective stories, that's what they call false clues that the writer includes to sidetrack you and disguise the real criminal. Why do they call them red herrings? I looked it up. It's an old trick to get bloodhounds off your trail. You drag a stinky herring across your scent, and the dogs will forget what you smell like. The pony census that Dr. Pells had was the real clue. It told us no ponies were being eaten. Instead, as fast as one farm lost ponies, another farm gained them. Although Ray's farm gained 24 ponies, it wasn't through theft. Her mares had a lot of foals. About 2 dozen, she said, and a dozen is 12 ponies.
Yep.
But Miss Bernie's farm didn't have any foals. In that case, how come her herd was growing fast? Because she was stealing other people's ponies and mixing them into her herd by switching their ear tags.
And it
The
took
horrible
so
hound
long to fake the cutie marks with tattoo guns. It was horrible.
The horrible hound was just a story she made up to disguise her thefts. That's why no one else had seen the huge beast.
And here we go. And the wrap up. Pony owner unmasked as pony thief. Acting on a tip from Eagle Eye detectives, Torbay police arrested Marissa Burney, head of Burney Stables, and recovered 20 stolen ponies she had mixed in with her own herd. When apprehended, Burney was about to smuggle the stolen ponies aboard a foreign freight ship in Torbay Harbor. Thank heavens that's been cleared up, said Colonel Sweeney of White Elephant Farms. Sweeney and many other citizens believe Burney's fanciful pony eating hound. My foals are safe, enthused Ray Mering, the young manager of Mering Stables. As a reward, I plan to take both Uncle Evie and Jennifer Evie on a special pony tour, Jennifer Eagle, on a special pony tour of the moors. And I've already named the two spunkiest pony foals Uncle and Jennifer. Thus endeth this story.
Okay, let's do a quick count here. I think we get one more.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we get one more for tonight.
Case of the Rare Art Raiders of the Lost Ark. Got it.
Rare Art Raider.
Of the Lost Ark.
Before we start reading this one, let me take a quick stretch and grab a little bit of water. I'll be back in
All right.
2. Don't
right,
don't start reading anything.
Yeah, no, I'll just blather. So, I'm not sure whose line that is anyway. So, I couldn't say it if I wanted to. Well, I guess I could say it. I'll say it, in fact, just to be spontaneous and crazy. Jules. There, see, I said it. And I didn't die. Ha ha ha. So, this episode tonight will represent 5 mysteries. So we've got 2 more episodes of this. I'm debating, because it's going to take us probably 15 minutes to do this next episode. I'm debating on going to break and coming back with some more Doom, because I haven't actually gotten to play Doom since last week. So I might actually do that.
Sorry, there's no follow.
Also, I forgot to put water in the fridge earlier, so I'm stuck drinking a root beer, and I really don't want a root beer, but I'm thirsty. These old DOS games like this are pretty fun. I like them at least. Back in the days of 256 color glory, I remember the first computer I ever had blew me away. It was a 286 with a VGA adapter, and I guess VGA adapter is like saying ATM machine, but still, it was a VGA card. So, yeah, a crazy story with that. My very first computer arrived via Greyhound bus, which was not a way that I thought that people could ship things. My grandmother had found someplace called MSI Computers. I don't know if they're still around anymore or not. Probably not. But she ordered a clone PC from them for me. And it was weird because at the time, like, I hadn't really asked for a computer. I mean, I've always had computer stuff, but, toys and games and that kind of thing, but never an actual computer. So my grandmother orders me this thing. I don't know what she paid for it. I'm certain it was a ton of money back then. I don't know where she came up with it, but she orders this PC rather than having it shipped through normal post office channels or whatever. Somehow or another, she had contracted. They were in Texas, I think it was. She had contracted with them to just ship it on a Greyhound bus, and so we had. This was back when there was an actual Greyhound terminal, like a standing building, in my hometown. And so we went there. She didn't tell me what we were doing or anything like that. Just come with me. We have to go do something. I was like, all right, fine. So we get there and they're unloading the baggage and that sort of thing. And we
Oh,
stand in this one particular area
I'm
and
back.
someone brings us this box. I'm telling the story. Hang on. Someone brings us this box labeled MSI computers. And I was like, is this a computer? And my grandmother said, it is. Happy birthday. I don't think it was actually my birthday. It was a little bit after my birthday. But regardless, my grandmother somehow or another knew what kind of computer to buy. I still don't know how she figured that out. It was an IBM PC and had it delivered by Greyhound bus, subsequently changing the entire course of the rest of my life, which is just a really weird thing when you think about it. So, anyway, that's my story. Sticking to it. And I understand EV is back.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, I don't know who says Jules here, but somebody says Jules. Let's both say it on three. 1, 2, 3. Jules.
Jules. Okay. Yeah.
Did it
Sorry.
freeze? Ah, there we go.
Hello. Pardon me. Who is this, please?
You had me. Jules. Jules Verne. Goodbye. Meh.
He or she hung up. What extreme weirdness. What do you suppose that was all about? You know, Nigel went with Uncle Basil to the Wax Museum. Maybe they're playing a joke on us. Let's go check it out.
No, you're going to get murdered. Don't leave the house. They're going to kill you. Someone's going to kill you. Don't go. Don't go to Madame Tussauds especially. They'll look like a wax dummy, but they'll actually be a real person, and they'll back you in a corner, and they'll kill you and cover you in wax.
All
And I
right,
think
what's
the
going
game's
on
locked.
here?
The game's doing weirdness.
Looks like the game's doing its once per stream crash. That's okay, we were only a couple clicks in. Let's go ahead and pull back to that mystery, and we will get on with it.
It will save progress when that happens, right? Not progress within a story, but...
Well, we had just started that one, so I'll just have to click through that opening convo.
Yeah,
again.
that's fine, but it'll put us in the same...
Well, we'll have to
status,
we'll have
right?
to go
Like,
to the story select, but it saves upon
yeah,
completion of a
same.
story, so everything we've done tonight is safe.
Cool. So it actually puts that... See, I don't know how this site works. I guess it puts that in a thing on your
Well,
hard drive or something.
that's not how the site works. That's how the game works. All right,
Well,
what's
right,
going
but-
on? Why aren't you loading? Here
Right,
we
but
go.
sites usually can't just like randomly save files on your computer. But if that's running in a virtual machine, then maybe
Yeah.
that's how it's doing it.
It's basically saving it to a browser cookie.
Yeah. Stonehenge Studios. I know it's Stormfront, not Stonehenge, but still. Stonehenge would have been way more appropriate.
So we're in Rare Art Raider. Was it called?
Yeah. Rare Art Raiders of the Lost
All
Ark.
right, let's try and knock this one out because fatigue is starting to set in.
All right.
My late night fade is
Yeah.
already beginning.
Yeah. While we were holding for when you stepped away a minute ago, I was saying that this one will probably take like 15 minutes, something like that. So we'll probably be wrapping it up by about 12:30, I would think. But I may turn around and go back in and do some Doomage. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Feel
haven't played
free to
Doom
do
in
that.
quite a
I
while.
will not be there. I will be crashing.
Yeah, perfectly all right. Understandable. Ring, ring, banana phone.
Jules.
Oh, network's been holding pretty stable. According to OBS, I have 0.4% drop frames for the night so far.
Cool.
All right, we did this Jules stuff, and we're gonna go to the Wax Museum.
Yep.
Going to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. Museum of Wax. Do you have the Britney Spears?
Now we can get on with it. Uncle
Yeah,
Basil
there we go.
comes here sometimes when he's stuck on a story. He looks at the costumes and the wax people, and it helps him to write about people in his books. Sometimes he comes and stares at them all day.
He stares
Uncle
at the Britney
Basil, hey
Spears.
Nigel. We just got a pretty bizarre phone call. The voice just said a name, Jules Verne. Then they hung up.
20,000 Leagues. Jules Verne. He's a French writer, you know. My friend Ivy Brosseau calls him the father of science fiction. She's always wittering on about him.
I've heard the phrase a jillion times, but what exactly does science fiction mean, Uncle Basil?
It's writing where you imagine what happens if a certain scientific discovery is made. You see, it has science and fiction. That's why they call it science fiction. How would our lives change if somebody discovered how to travel in time or travel at the speed of light in space? Those are popular science fiction themes. I don't read very much science fiction myself. It's too much in your head, not enough in your heart. I prefer fantasy. It's like science fiction, but one needn't worry about science. Haha.
You said your friend knows a lot about Jules Verne. Where can we find her?
She's coming to our house later today, in fact. Come round to the kitchen later and I'll introduce you. I dare say she can answer any question you might have about Jules Verne. Gotta talk to Nigel. The only Jules I know is Astrid's friend, Jules Harper. Usually you'd find him at Chumley's toy store, but he's not working today. I don't know where he is. Maybe Astrid does. Hey, Astrid! Hello, Nigel. Hello, Uncle and Jennifer. Come to enjoy the lovely waxworks, have we?
Yes, indeed. Listen, Astrid, we were wondering if you knew where Jules was today. Oh, we met Jules before at times also.
I haven't a clue, Dux. Our band's got no work and Jules is all moody about it. Yesterday he went to Dover and walked along the cliffs all day. And then he fell off and died. It was terrible. Got to get back to work. We're preparing a wax of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm doing his arms. They're huge. Try. You know, Uncle, Jules Verne reminds me of Dad's friend Ivy Brosseau. She talks about Jules Verne all the time. I don't know about Miss Brosseau. She's nice and everything, but she seems awfully anxious to make a lot of money. She rattles on and on about how she'll spend her first £1,000,000. I think she spends more time thinking about that than she does writing her books.
So she's a gold digger. Got it. She got
Hold
a
on,
sugar
what's
daddy.
that noise?
It's my TV. Hang on.
Can you pull my door closed, please?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Turn
asking
my
me. I'm
TV
like,
on
is there a
and
noise?
It automatically loads the city
These
Sketch
headphones
channel.
are good at blocking sound, but not that good.
Sorry about the very slight disruption, but we're good now.
I'm on a bus. I'm on a bus.
Hey, Jake. Earlier we got this weird phone call from a mystery person. Somebody said Jules Verne. We don't really have any leads about it. Maybe we should just forget it. Wait, is Jake a background character in this one? We don't usually see them together.
Yeah, no, maybe. Let's find out. I guess, should I read for Jake?
Well, I read for Jake before, so I'll just keep reading for him.
All right.
Remember, we used him for the first half of the game.
No, yeah, I remember. I just didn't know if you wanted to do both characters at the same time.
No way, Jennifer. While you were gone, the mystery person called again. He or she said Jules Verne again and then hung up. Something is going on, I just know it. Look, I called the library and I got some information about Jules Verne. He was a writer who lived in France from the year 1828 to 1905. He wrote all sorts of stories about adventurous journeys. His most famous books are 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, From the Earth to the Moon, and Around the World in 80 Days. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is about three men who are taken aboard a mysterious electric submarine. From the Earth to the Moon is about three men who are shot to the moon in a big cannon. Around the World in 80 Days is perhaps Verne's most famous story. In it, a Londoner named Phileas Fogg and his servant Passepartout attempt to travel all the way around the world in 80 days. In the 1860s, that was just barely possible. Wow, he wrote those over 100 years ago. He wrote about submarines and space travel before they were really invented. He used his imagination to try and predict the future. I'm going to correct. I'm going to correct an incorrect statement in this dialogue here.
Submarines.
It said submarines. He wrote about submarines before they were invented. There were actually the reports of the first successful submarine-like vehicle that could completely submerge in water was in the 1780s, I believe, which is before Jules Verne was writing his novels.
Yeah, if I remember right, they called it a diving bell.
But that 1780s submersible, it was like this tiny two-man affair. It wasn't like the submarines in his novels.
Yeah. Yep.
Those came later.
But it would be an easy jump for someone to take the little two-man submersible thing and, make it into a sub. I could see that.
Right, Jennifer. Now look what else I found. There's a special exhibit on submarines going on at the Imperial War Museum. And you know what I remember? There's an ad in our guidebook for a travel agency, and guess what the name is? Around the World in 80 Ways. They might be long shots, but hey, let's check them out.
First way, plane. Second way, train. Third way, automobile. Fourth way, donkey. Bicycle, jogging. Paraglider. Jetpack.
Star Trek transporter?
Nah, we don't have that yet.
Here's the submarine exhibit. And look, there's Astrid's friend Jules. What's he doing here, I wonder? Random that he would show up just randomly in the place where we otherwise randomly were going to, when we were just randomly talking about him out of context.
Coincidence? I think not.
Oh,
Let's see what he says, I guess.
Have you seen that, on the subject of the Star Trek transporter, have you seen that toy where it's the Star Trek transporter and you put an action figure inside and you push the lever and the action figure actually beams out and disappears, and then you pull the lever back and it beams up and reappears? Have you seen that toy?
Yes and no, because I had a toy very like that when I was a child. I'm assuming you're talking about something new.
I'm talking about something that existed years ago, like Next Generation era, when I was a kid.
Yeah, this would have been original Star Trek, like the original cast, the one that I had, and it was cool. It was a fold-out bridge of the Enterprise, and they had I guess they would have been 8-inch figures, something like that. But it had a transporter on the far left side, and it was a cylinder with a little door. And you would open up the door and put the figures in the cylinder, and there was a red dot on the floor, okay? You put them in on the red dot side, and there was a knob on the top that you spun really fast, and it had stickers on the outside of the cylinder to make it look like the transporter pattern. And it had two buttons on the top. There was a green and a red. And if you put them in on the red side, you would hit the green button, and it would lock the cylinder when it was spinning, and it would lock it on the green side, which was an identical transporter pad or whatever, but of course the figure wasn't in it. And there was a door on the back where you could take the figure out. It was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about one that used lighting effects and mirrors.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, this was a purely mechanical, no batteries or anything effect.
If I find it again, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know and send me a link, and I'll send you a link on the one that I had.
All right, let's get back to this, because I am fading.
All right.
Hey, Jules, what are you doing here? I thought only tourists went to museums.
What, are you joking? One of the fantastic things about living in London is a variety of fascinating things to do. I'm quite fond of popping down to a gallery or museum when I've got some time off.
Hey, Jules, how come you've got a coat and tie with you? I didn't think you had to wear them at the toy store.
I don't. I've got a second job working for a travel photographer named Swift in Covent Garden. I'm all worked up about it, actually. I hate to work so much, but I need the lolly.
You must be nervous. It looks like you have the wrong coat. The name tag on it says Julian.
Ah, that's his real name. Oh, that. It says Julian because my boss's nickname is Jules. He gave me the job on the condition that I use the long version of my name, Julian, when I'm working there. So if anyone rings for Jules, I know to give the phone to Mr. Swift.
I wonder why anyone named Owen would have the nickname Jules.
Dunno. Nicknames are funny things. Anyway, wish me luck with my new job. I'm off.
The exhibit is about submarines in fact and fiction. Submarines are vessels that can travel underwater with people on board. Although humans have always dreamed of underwater travel, they have found submarines very hard to build. In the 1600s, a Dutch inventor, Cornelius van Drebbel, built an underwater rowboat that may have traveled a short distance under the surface of the Thames River. The American Robert Fulton developed a successful submarine in the year 1800, which he named Nautilus. Vessels that could hide underneath the waves gradually became very important in wartime. With
This
modern
was before the
technology,
exercise
submarines.
equipment.
What?
You said it was named Nautilus, and I said this was before the exercise equipment.
Yeah. Well, it was also before the real Nautilus. Apparently, was also before the one in the novel.
Hmm.
That ship was the Nautilus too. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
With modern technology, submarines can dive to great depths and sail for months on end without surfacing. In 1986, a submarine named Alvin successfully found and inspected the wreck of the Titanic, a huge ocean liner that hit an iceberg and sank in 1912. The Titanic is about 13,000 feet, or about 4,000 meters, below the surface of the ocean. In the future, people will do more and more underwater exploration to find out how best to use the huge number of resources that wait under the ocean waves.
And rich people will go down and explode.
Hey, here it mentions 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, written by Jules Verne. In the story, a mysterious man named Captain Nemo pilots a fantastic submarine called the Nautilus.
I'm on a bus. That's my signature line for this piece. I'm on a bus.
Here's the booth for the only travel photographer in Covent Garden, Owen Swift.
He's a Swifty. Let's see, Owen Swift. Hello, children. Are you interested in buying some photographic prints? They were all taken overseas in exotic temples and shrines. There may be topless natives.
We were wondering if you knew anything about Jules, as in Jules Verne.
Jules. The name doesn't mean anything to me. Sorry. Now if you excuse me, it's time to close up shop. Bye-bye. Pip, pip, cheerio. Have a good day.
Now that
Come back
was
tomorrow, 20% off.
suspiciously quick to close up
That
shop.
was highly sus. It was sus plus. Boom, boom, boom.
Say, who's that over there pretending to squeeze the melons? It's Inspector Gage, and I bet he's on a case. Let's say hi.
Hey, he's squeezing melons. I bet he is. Well, children, good to see you. I was just out picking up a few things for supper. I think the cabbages look fresh, don't you?
Come on, Inspector. We know you're on a case. You seem to be watching that travel agency across the street.
No, I just like squeezing melons. They're very firm, you see. You're right, Jennifer. I'd forgotten how observant you two are. Yes, I'm trying to crack a gang of international art smugglers, and I'm sure the Around the World in 80 Ways travel agency is involved. That's the shop over across the street. Someone who travels to foreign places is arranging to have precious art stolen.
All our evidence proves that he or she is connected with the agency, but we're not sure how. You two can help me keep a lookout for any suspicious activity.
Hey, some people are leaving the agency. I'll try to grab a quick photo.
Okay, is it a travel agency now? Is this the same place again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's the same place again. Yep.
Oh, fiddlesticks. I didn't get a very good look at them at all.
Hold on, Inspector. I think I got a good photo with Travis. Give me a moment and I'll call it up. There, that's one of the two ladies that left the agency. Is it anyone you recognize? She looks kind of familiar to me.
Mystery lady, passion lady.
No, but if you give me a printout, I'll take it back to Scotland Yard and see if we can identify her there. And maybe take it round to Snootby's too. They're loads of help when it comes to art. But first I must finish buying these cabbages. I've squozed them all, you see.
Hey, don't tell Inspector Gage just yet, but did you recognize the other lady? I did. It's Lady Edna Saltcoats. Let's hop a train out to Marlford Manor and see what's up.
Up, withholding evidence. You're going to jail. You're going to the big jail. Bus, 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 bus. Driving on down the road in England in a
Let's
bus.
ask Mr. Parker if he knows anything about recent art thefts around the world.
Yes, there seem to be some particularly nasty thieves at work just now. Barbarians, really. I was in Benta, Malaysia about a month ago, and I bought a box there. It was a Benta box. I was told it originally came from Japan. Saw a wonderful shrine to Buddha. Now I find out the shrine's been ruined. Someone cut off the Buddha's head with a chainsaw and stole it. Terrible. Before that, I was traveling in Eastern Europe. In Orgiev, I saw a marvelous mosaic in an old church. In less than a month, someone ripped it up and carted it away. A tragedy. On that same trip, we all admired some carved wooden doors in a castle in Turkey. Shortly after we were there, some thieves used crowbars to pull the doors down and steal them. Disgraceful.
Yikes, did anyone catch the thieves?
In most cases, they caught the people who grabbed the art, yes. But it turns out the real villain, the organizer of the thefts, is still at large. Wonder who that is. Someone traveled from country to country arranging the thefts of those fabulous pieces. That's the art thief that the police should really be after.
Whoever he or she is, that person is undoubtedly making tons of money, but destroying beautiful churches and temples to do it.
That doesn't seem like McCavity's MO, so I don't know.
No, this isn't a
We'll
McCavity
find out.
case. If it was a McCavity case, we would have the poem with the newspaper
Yeah.
word cutouts.
Yeah, McCavity always claims their acts. In a handsome
Plus,
cab, in
McCavity's,
a handsome
McCavity's
cab.
cases always involve animals, usually cats.
Yeah, true.
Do you think Lady Edna is involved in some sort of art smuggling ring? She does seem to have some nice art at Marlford Manor. Let's pay her a
Maybe.
surprise visit and see what we can find out.
Oh, so you knew the platform that time, did you, Jennifer? You knew it.
It didn't ask that time.
No, I said Jennifer. The character knew the platform.
There's
I think
Lady
she's in
Edna,
on it.
but no sign of the old lady that was with her at the travel agency.
And also no sign of that plant by the table that apparently was really important in the other case.
Why, children, what a pleasant surprise. I'm so glad to see you. What brings you all the way out to Malford Manor?
Why, we're interested in art, Lady Edna. Really fine art from foreign countries. We were wondering if you had any.
No, not really, dear. Most of the art here at Malford Manor was done here in England, and it's been in our family for generations. I do have this brochure, however, for an art tour. One goes to other lands to enjoy the art at shrines and temples and such. The brochure's on the table if you want to look at it. If it's exciting new art you want, have you tried my library?
The brochure reads Art Tours. See some of the most magnificent art still remaining in exotic lands. An exclusive adventure for the serious art appreciator. Photos in the brochure show a Buddha shrine, a mosaic, and some castle doors. The caption reads, some of the enriching scenes we have visited on past tours. Look, this brochure is from the Around the World in 80 Ways travel agency. There's some small
Coincidence?
print
I
at the
think
bottom.
not.
There's some small print at the bottom. It says writing by Ivy Brissot, photography by Owen Swift, Covent Garden. Maybe it's time to go to. Maybe it's time for us to go to Uncle Basil's house and meet this Ivy Brissot.
The one guy was the one that took off when we went into Covent Garden, right?
Yeah. I wonder what Lady Edna's got in here. There's the old lady.
Yep.
It's the old woman we saw at the travel agency.
Yes, it is.
Yes, children, what is it?
If you please, ma'am, we saw you coming out of a travel agency on Quaint Street. We were wondering what you were doing there. Are you an art collector?
Well, actually, no. You see, a week ago it was a restaurant, and then before that it was an eyeglass shop the week before. So I was going to get my eyes fixed and or get something to eat at the restaurant, but I'm afraid now it's a travel agency, so I don't know anymore.
Hey, isn't that the same storefront that's something new in every episode?
That's the one, yeah.
Well, I can see the jig is up. It's time to show you everything.
No, ma'am, please keep your clothes on. Please.
Look, she's pulling off a wig and a mask. Wow, it's Aunt Miranda.
What? What is this, Mission Impossible?
Well, I see you got my phone message. Sorry it had to be so mysterious, but I wasn't completely sure of my facts yet. I'm writing a story about these art thefts, and I think I'm really onto something.
She gonna get killed.
I know that if I dropped you a hint, you and Uncle would investigate on your own. That way, if your sleuthing led you to the same conclusions I came up with, you'd confirm my suspicions. You see, the travel agency I visited today takes art collectors on tours around the world. But wherever they go touring, priceless pieces of art get stolen. All my research leads me to believe that someone connected with the travel agency is behind these thefts. I've interviewed dozens of their former clients using disguises like the one you saw earlier, and I've only come up with one good link to the real art thief. The key is someone they call Jules. That's the code name. It could be a man or a woman. Jules is the one who arranges the thefts. If we could catch him or her, we could smash the whole ring.
Wait, I need to see the disguise again. Oh, I would never have guessed. You had any suspicion?
No, actually. I definitely didn't think it was Miranda.
That's a really strong disguise there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, is this Mission Impossible or something? Okay, it looks like they took the same art, like the same key art, and traced over it or duplicated it in some way to make the older lady character, and of course modified it. But yeah, all right.
Hey, Lady Edna has some books by Jules Verne here in the library. Here's an interesting one, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Jules Verne seems to have gone just about everywhere, in his imagination anyway.
I've been everywhere, man. I've done everything. I guess we can leave here, right?
That's a fun song that you were singing. I did it in karaoke once.
Oh, yeah? I stopped because I couldn't remember the rest of the words.
It's one of those rhythm songs with like a list of things that you just sing to a rhythm.
Yep. And it's Johnny Cash, so you can't beat that. Oh, I missed I'm on a bus line. Dang it. I think I'm getting tired, too.
This must be Uncle Basil's friend, Ivy Brissot. She's the one who's totally hooked on Jules Verne. We've met her before once, I think. She looks familiar.
I think so, yeah. She does, yeah. And the name was familiar as well.
Oh yes, Jules Verne is a hero of mine. He had such bold visions of the future. When he read about a new invention, he could see how people would use it and how it would change their lives. When the airship Norge crossed the Atlantic, crossed the Arctic when Norbert Casteret found lost lakes and signs of early man in caverns under the Pyrenees Mountains, when the American submarine Nautilus voyaged to the North Pole. All these explorations had already occurred in Verne's novels. If he were alive today, he'd be writing about cold fusion, genetic engineering, and virtual reality. And don't forget artificial intelligence. That's the thing that's going to kill us all. And he'd be really rich and successful and own a yacht like he did when he was alive.
Miss Brizeau, we saw that you do writing for a travel agency.
You mean for Around the World in 80 Ways? Yes, I do. I even help them name their company. It's a way for me to earn money while I'm working on my books.
Did you know that you're getting ripped off?
I'm hoping that someday they will take me along on one of their tours to someplace exotic like Brunei, sorry. But so far it hasn't happened.
I think we know who our guy is.
Yeah, it's
Jules'
the one
boss,
guy.
other Jules.
Yep. Many imaginary stories. None of this. Yeah, it's not our friend Jules. None of these.
It might be Jules because he's the one who knows other Jules. We'll keep that one in
Yeah,
mind.
he needs the money, but I don't think it's him.
Oh no, this is the clue we want from that.
Yep. Wait, yeah, click that. Blah. International life. He travels to foreign lands. Scotland Yard's knows. Connected. Yep. Okay. Hey, Park Toll is I want to force some restaurant in Malaysia. If Harry Parker, yeah, yeah, yep. It shows that. Yep,
It's this
yep.
guy.
It's Owen Swift. Mr. Swift, you're going down. You are the art thief. And something
What
weird
just
happened.
happened?
Oh no.
Emulator crash.
Try doing like an alt tab or something. Oh,
All right.
dang it.
I have to do a
Are you gonna have
full
to burn
click
through the
through
whole thing?
here, which is going to take me about 5 minutes
Ah,
to click through everything.
jeez.
Fill dead air
Oh,
while I get us
seriously?
back to the solve screen.
Oh my god. Okay. Ouch.
We're right at the
All right,
end.
let's see.
We
let's
may
see,
as
let's
well
see.
look at our final page of the scrapbook for today. So
Yeah.
you
No,
fill
and
the
plus we
air
need to
while I
save the
do the
game
click
too.
through.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. See, now I'm starting to fade. If we do 5, it seems like the 5th one is kind of when I go. Ugh. But
I
so
mean, we
let's
did hit
see.
6
Let's
or
see. Let's
7
see.
one
Let's see.
day early on when we were doing the first book.
That's true. Yeah.
Was it 7
So
or did
let's
we
see.
stop at 6? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Most of the time, don't even remember what day it is.
All right.
Um,
Fill air. I'm going to
so-
click through these as
yes,
quickly as I can.
Phil Air. Yeah, I went to school with Phil Air. He was a good guy. Um, no. So this is kind of all about travel. I'm trying to think if I have any good travel stories. Oh, I know. So when I was a kid, talking about this awesome thing that my grandmother did for me, getting me that computer when she did. Um, there were some not so awesome things that happened on account of my grandmother. One of them was we used to go to Silver Dollar City every summer, and we lived in Oklahoma at the time, so we would drive from Oklahoma to Missouri to go to that. And she always, for whatever, she wouldn't take the interstates. I never understood why. I think it was just because she was older, maybe. She would never take the interstates, and so she would take these little like scenic highway back roads and stuff. I guess because of the less traffic is the only thing I can think of. Very inefficient mode of travel, by the way, unfortunately, because there were some interesting little towns along the way, and we saw some neat things every so often. This one trip, we left late or something. I can't remember exactly what the deal was, and it was about a 4 hour or so drive from where we lived. So I think we were in northwest Arkansas. I'm pretty sure. Um, we stopped at this little like it was getting late in the evening, and they couldn't, neither she nor my granddad could see
Hey,
well at
did you see
night.
that
So
cat just now that we missed the first time? There's a little cat
no, I
playing
know.
behind Gage.
Yeah, no, I noticed the cat. I just didn't say anything about it. But we stopped at this place because we needed to rest for the night, and we didn't know they didn't know if they could make the next town. So we stopped in this little town that basically was just a gas station and a few houses and this motel. And it was, I don't know if it's still, I'm certain it is not there today. I am certain it was probably bulldozed not long after we stayed there because, oh man, it was like a horror movie. Uh, it was like a creepy looking old place. It was not well maintained. I did not want to stay there. I was terrified of staying there. It looked scary, but I mean, we couldn't go any further. I was a kid. I couldn't drive, and neither could they. So we stay at this place. We get a room, and we go in, and we start unpacking stuff or whatever, bringing in our bags and such, and getting ready to go to bed. And I forget. I think it was me. I go to the bathroom. I turn on the lights because the lights were off in the bathroom, and like the carpet going into the bathroom was all moldy and stuff. It was actually tile in the bathroom, which is a good thing. But when I turned on the lights, there was like a freaking cockroach New Year's Eve party going on in the middle of the bathtub. There were dozens of them, and they scurried everywhere when I turned the lights on, and I screamed. And Granny and my granddad ran in, and they were like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh my God, there were cockroaches! There were a whole bunch of them!" And you could still see them. I mean, they were still there. They didn't just vanish. So they looked at that, and then they looked at me, and then my granddad went out to the car and got a map to see exactly how far the next town was, and it was too far away that they could make it. So what we ended up doing, um, I actually slept. Well, I didn't sleep. First off, they slept in the beds, but they like basically wrapped themselves in the sheets so they wouldn't get anything crawling on them. There was like a folding chair in there, and I literally stayed up all night watching television because I could not go to sleep. There was no way I was sleeping there.
All right, I'm back
I
to the
was
soft
exhausted the
screen.
next
Keep
day.
talking.
All right, yeah. I was exhausted the next day. The trip was awful. It was just very bad. Everything about it was bad. The only bright side out of it is they had brought in like we put everything back in the car except for just the stuff that we absolutely needed to have while we were there. So the cockroaches couldn't get in our luggage, which happens a lot. Couldn't get in her purse because she put her purse back out there, and we basically checked each other over very carefully when we left to make sure that we didn't bring any hitchhikers back home with us. So yeah, that was the bright side. The good news out of it was I got to see Porky's for the first time, so which was great because it had boobies in it. So yay cockroaches, I guess.
We have crash date
Oh, did it
again.
again? What?
So tell you what I'm gonna
Oh,
do.
this must be glitched.
Either this is a glitched version of the game, or my browser has decided we've had enough for tonight. So here's what we're gonna do. I am going to off stream after my computer has a fresh boot. Do the click through again, and if it lets us pass the screen, then we will go ahead and I'll open up the scrapbook at the beginning of the next stream, and you can read the closeout. But we know Jules is the
Yeah, we know.
Swift photography
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, we know who
So
did it.
we've solved it.
If I
It's
if I
just
could
that
make a suggestion on the net for the next click through, reboot your computer first
that's what
and
I
like
just
don't have any
said.
of the streaming stuff. Oh, did you say reboot? Okay, I missed it. I was thinking about stuff, but yeah, don't have any of the stream stuff running or anything like that. Try it just by itself and see if it does this
Yeah,
again. And if it does, I guess we'll just have to skip this one and go to the next one. But
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Will the game let us skip past
Yeah,
this
you
one
can
if we
do the
can't get past
mysteries in
this
any
hiccup?
order.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, good. At
So
least
if
we've
this
got
one
that.
glitches
Okay.
out again, then we can just skip to the next one on the next stream. And if it doesn't, we can start the next stream with a scrapbook and read out this case.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, I guess then in that case, in the meantime, I'm kind of starting to fade myself. I was gonna try and squeeze in some Doom, but I don't think I can handle it tonight. I did have to work today and everything, so maybe
I'm
tomorrow.
quitting
We'll see.
out. Most likely, I will be doing a Lego stream tomorrow. I ended up having to skip last week because the wind kept power flickering our power, and causing
Yeah.
my computer to spontaneously reboot multiple times. No way I was streaming under those conditions. So
Yeah. No. Good call.
we will hopefully have some Lego tomorrow, and hopefully make up for some lost time by having more Lego on Sunday. And then who knows what next week will bring on my end.
Cool.
Still
All
having
right. Well,
occasional fights with the network.
yeah. Well, for my part, tomorrow night we are tentatively scheduled. I'm not sure what we're going to do because we were going to do we were going to get back to Red Dead 2 last Saturday, but Unbalanced had like all of the what was it? Phoenix Wright, Ace Detective, or Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. He had all those games installed on his PlayStation. So we decided to take one break from Red Dead 2 and do some Phoenix Wright. And it was a lot of fun, except I had forgotten that the judge character, which is in like every single episode of the game, I had done him using
An Eric Cartman voice.
and it was very painful by about halfway through the evening, but it was still a lot of fun. So, long story short, I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow night, but we'll be back with something. And if he and I are not back with something tomorrow, if he's got something going on, I will be on with either Doom or Avowed. I still want to finish Avowed, but I'm really enjoying Doom as well. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a grab bag for me.
Alright, so here's what we're going to call it.
Yep.
And we got 2 more episodes of these mysteries left.
Yep.
Have a good night, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, sounds good. You have a good night as well. And we will talk to you. If not before then, we'll talk to you next week.
All right.